moon.
Hello there, and welcome to That's Time Moon, a Star Wars Legion podcast. I am Cockles, your host, and today we are joined by the two regulars and a very, very, very special guest, which will get the regulars out of the way with their usual introductions. Here we go. Andy!
Yo!
How are you doing?
I'm glad I'm not the host.
Well, mate, technical work, it worked quite well. What I will say is, first off, how are you?
I'm very good, man. How are you?
Yeah, living the dream, slightly hungover and living the dream. It's all good. Wife's
Is
birthday.
that drowning your Chelsea sorrows?
Funny enough, that was coincidental that happened at the same time. It was my other half's birthday the day. So we went out last night and we had a child-free, like semi-child-free weekend. And my dad sort of said, "Yeah, I'll have Hallie," and it was like, brilliant. Let's go get smashed, and that worked out quite well. So that was that. And then
2 drinks and you were done. Then
2 drinks and done. That's your motto, isn't it? But
yeah.
I'm good. But I am going to put something out there. So you've had that introduction for nigh on me, good year and a half, maybe nearly 2. Well, good year and a half at least.
I couldn't even tell you what the previous intro I used to have was.
You didn't. It sort of started as that. I know you might have had Dog Days Are Over to start with from Florence and the Machine. Dog Days Are Over, all that sort of thing. I've never done Who Let the Dogs Out or anything like that because I didn't feel I want to go that far. However, I'm open to suggestions if anyone would like to send in doggy-related themes for a new intro for Andy, because I've watched Bluey enough and now heard Bluey enough because I have a 4-year-old and I do the show. So maybe it's time to move on. Who knows? Moving on.
I'm okay with that.
Talking of moving on, I've delved out the previous intros for this one because it's a great song, and also because I can't find a song for his new list at the moment, so we'll just go with this. So we gotta make the most of our one night together when it's over, you know we'll both be so alone. It's Ollie Dyer, bringing back, that was his Fury Road intro back from the days then. How are you?
All the better for knowing you're hungover and having a terrible time.
I'm not going to have terrible times per se. It's just when you're slightly hungover and then you have to retrieve your child from where they were at childcare. It's like a 4-year-old does take it out of you when you're like, well, I'm not got the energy today. And there will be dads around here, dads around, and mothers around listening, going, yeah, feel you on that one. But how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
I'd like to publicly say as well, I'm glad I couldn't come out yesterday. I'd already made plans because Ollie kindly said, I'm in Bury St Evans down the road from me, and said, would you like to come out for a drink and things like that? It'd be nice to see you. And I was like, mate, any other day. But I'd already made plans. So I was like, oh, sorry. But anyway, thank you for that.
All good. All good.
Okay, do it again another time. But no, moving on to our very, very special guest. He now claims the title that was once Isaiah's and was once Ollie's and was once Luke Cook's, and now he gets his own intro, and probably one of my faves at the moment. His name is Justin Fleming, and he hails from the place where that song was well named after. It's the new champ. All hail Justin Fleming.
Hello.
All hail.
All hail. Hail. Thank you for joining us on the show. As we said in the pre-bit, but you've had a few of these interviews asking a request coming up, haven't you?
Yeah, quite a few.
All of a sudden, everyone's like, want to piece the champ, that sort of thing. Ollie, how many? Because I remember you making a joke about this, but I can't remember if it was how much true. Did you get a lot of influx of people wanting to go on, or is it just like, no, I'm going on my own one, and that was it?
No, I did one, and then I'm notoriously mental, so I don't get invited on some of the others. Yeah, you have to look at scoundrels. I think Evan kind of just goes, "Oh no, I don't think we can control what he's going to say."
Notoriously Mental is one of the other podcasts done by the Fifth Truth. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh yeah, that's my prime time show.
But no, so Justin, thanks for joining us. Obviously, you tell us. We'll start off there, really, but tell us a bit about yourself. How long you've been playing the game? Where you from, really, man?
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm from Alabama, and I started playing like kitchen table probably around like 2021, and
Nice.
then I actually got into the local game store like late 2023, I think. And then so a little tiny bit of Old Legion, and then basically straight into 2.6.
That probably helped a touch because you didn't have to remember all the stuff from before, whereas I'm still going. But my brain gone there. What factions have you? We'll talk about what you ran, but have you run all the factions? Are there any specific things that you've attached to? What drew you to the game?
I primarily, so what originally drew me to the game was looking at Palpatine and Royal Guards.
R.I.P.
But
Short
so
lived.
I didn't actually get those guys originally, though. I ended up getting the Clone Wars starter, and I chose Separatists, and so that's primarily what I've been sticking with. But I think this year I'm gonna focus on Empire.
Oh, very
Okay.
cool. I like that diversifying on that one. That's all good. Well, we'll go more into your background and what the list was in your games shortly. But first off, we should do some shout outs, really. So, first off, thank you very much to our patrons who support us and help us do what we can do. Without you, makes it touch harder. So, thank you very much for all your support and love and messages and stuff like that. Thank you also, just as a personal thing, thank you for all the, because I know when the boys were doing the streaming in the States, I was obviously in the background doing background bits, and thank you for all the messages that came in saying the boys are doing great and the support there. So it was very much felt, not for myself, but it was for these guys, but I saw it all and the feedback was great. So thank you very much for all that. It does mean a lot, even if you can't tell sometimes. But yeah, so thank you for that. And today's show really is going to be two parts. The first part is going to be Justin's world's sort of journey. I kind of hate that phrase a little bit. Justin's world's journey, his games, the best bits, the worst bits, that sort of stuff. I mean, the best bits becoming world champion. There kind of can't be any worse bits, really. Talk about the games, tactics of the list, all that sort of stuff, and then we'll go into do the reveals that were shared at AdeptiCon. And what will be fun is it'll also get Justin's take on it as well, because, well, it's extra voices, extra opinions on new stuff and new plastic crack that we're going to love as it comes out over the next sort of 18 months and year, all that sort of stuff, or sooner, as you'll no doubtly be aware of it if you are, unless you've been living under a rock and not hearing about these things called Mandalorians. I suppose the first things first, Justin, you obviously this is your first time at AdeptiCon or not, or what?
Yes, this is the first AdeptiCon.
A debut journey, and then it wins it as well. I mean, so some people may not know what list you've run, so tell us about your list.
Yeah, it's Dooku, triple Droidekas, double Aqua. That's the real stuff, and then Kalani, the super attack, triple V1, and double Geo, and that's pretty much it. There's very minimal upgrades. Just force push and saber throw on Dooku, improv on Kalani, and then slice comms. No overclock on the customizable Electro Staff and Seek and Destroy.
Nice. And how many reps would you had before that? Are you a hardcore repetitive player, or do you pick up and go, or just play when you can, that sort of thing? What's the training regime?
With that specific list, I only had about 5 to 10 reps beforehand. But I hadn't played I've been playing basically solely Dooku in CIS for like the past year and a half, almost. So I have countless reps with him.
So what was the logic behind Dooku? Because I would have said that going as a build up to Worlds, that Force users, especially expensive ones like Dooku, Yoda, and stuff, had started to drop off. I think after seeing what actually turned up to Worlds, I think I retract that statement regarding Yoda because I think he actually had some good tricks. But what was your logic behind wanting to take Dooku?
Yeah, so I think when dice go awry, I think force push is the only thing that's going to get you out of that, and I don't think anything else can do that. And so that's primarily the reason is Dooku can win games without actually ever killing anything.
Yeah, I can see that. It helps when he manages to like do a lot of damage as well with his one pip, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won one of my top 4 games by just taking 3 things off of a point on his 1 pip turn.
That helps.
Because I split fired with the saber throw and lightning, putting out like 3 and 4 suppression, and I had an extra suppression from like some help, and then I pushed something else off, and so Dooku
So
is
you just
essentially worth
panic
4
two
people on
and
point. Yeah.
nice.
Andy, you played obviously Dooku quite a lot. What do you think the differences between older style Dooku to recent Dooku aren't at the moment?
Go on.
Well, take for both.
I'll let the champ talk.
I was going to say both. You're right. Andy took Dooku to Worlds, didn't win. So yeah, we'll take your answer instead, Justin.
I don't know. I've never. No, I didn't take him.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did in the end. Oh, you were debating.
No,
about
I started practicing last year, and then I ended up just taking Grievous.
I retract that comment then. Damn.
But yeah, I'll let Justin answer because he's definitely a more experienced Dooku player in ranking than me.
You mean older style Dooku? You mean like pre 2.6?
Well, semi pre 2.6, but what I mean more is now you've got so many new core units can do new things in terms of taking super squads and all this sorts of stuff. So you have larger dice pools, and obviously Force users like Dooku, like Kenobi, like Anakin are susceptible to bigger dice pools because of things. Despite the inbuilt deflect, all this sorts of stuff. So have you played Dooku enough to make you realize now you need to do X now compared to what you used to do with him, if that makes sense?
Well, most of it's controlling people's threat ranges. If Dooku's not in range of several things, then usually people don't want to shoot him simply because of the fact that if they don't do much damage, then they haven't shot the other things, And so usually people tend to be quite weary of shooting Dooku. Like most people don't actually bother to try to commit to doing that. And that's kind of a 50-50, right? Because if you don't take out Dooku, all you've done is made him even more valuable. Like if Dooku ends up tanking a lot of stuff and still doing everything he was doing previously, then that means that the rest of the list is going to do even more than it was before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What would you?
Oh, go on, Ellie.
I was going to say, what would you say is Dooku's probably biggest weakness then? Because obviously, if he's having a great impact on the game because he can kill free units, or like you did, or stop free units from scoring, has force push, all of the usual force power stuff. What is his weakness?
It would be positioning, like really a positioning battle. Because if I put Dooku on a side where there's pretty much only vehicles, I can't panic things, and I can't force push those things, and so it becomes a lot less powerful that way. So, and especially like on a close the pocket, if you like have 3 vehicles run up on the close the pocket point, usually the idea with Dooku is you're running on the close the pocket almost by yourself, and then tossing the other things off the point because they're usually troopers like hero models because they want those things to go last. But if they save their vehicles for later and use those as kind of the point grabbers, then Dooku can't really deal with that as well.
Yeah. The lead up to the sort of event, did you play in the warm up day, the Thursday beforehand, or not?
I did not. I was playing, so I didn't get there early enough for that. I did play like 2 casual games on that day, but I did not do the warm up.
No, that makes sense. So you played. So which day of the qualifier did you play the piece of then?
I played Friday. I played Friday as well. So I played 11 games total.
Oh, that's a marathon. Who, Ollie, are you playing Friday? Because Andy, you didn't need to. Ollie, are you playing Friday or playing Thursday?
Apparently, I'm a pleb because I lost, but
Ollie might be experiencing technical issues there, but there we go. Oh, well, okay. So you played 11 games. I'm going to. Is there a? It's hard to pick out one, I suppose, if you play 11, because if it's 6, you can go.
Pick one per day.
I was going to say, can you pick a game per day that you were very
proud Is that working now?
Hey, there he is. Did you play on the Friday? Play on the Thursday?
I didn't play Thursday. I did play Friday.
Oh, okay then. So you did not 11, but you did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. 7. I want to say 7 games. No, 6 games.
4.
No.
Oh, 4. Okay.
No,
yeah,
sorry, 5.
5. Yeah, because you stopped and you did the stream. That makes sense. Cool. So on your on the day one that you played, Jason, what was your toughest game, and what was your hey, this is my ace moment game, if that makes sense? Big brain plays, that sort of thing.
So day one being like Friday.
Yes, your day one, yeah.
So that was I played around like 10 games since then, so I'm actually gonna have to look at my games. The so I think probably the hardest one was against I think I played the actual Grievous Wheelbike list. Like the full pretty much the exact same as Evan's list, except there was emergency stems on Grievous Wheelbike instead of recon.
Yeah.
And a lot of that game had to do with the fact that I was just playing better on the objectives, and it was intercept, bring them to heal, and bring them to heal is really good for my list over that. And so that one wasn't too difficult, but I would say it's the most difficult out of the 3. And I don't really think I had like any exceptional things. I just I had better positioning, and I played the objective better.
Yeah.
And so I just managed to win those 3 pretty easily.
I'm just looking more into your list. Obviously, you've got the triple deckers and the double aquas. Obviously, deckers and aquas combo, block insight, that sort of thing. What do you aim to set out with in your list? So when because you've got strafe. So that's the missions. You've got close the pocket, intercept, and outflank. You just looking up to set a gun line with your deckers, and then a block in with your aquas, and then just basically see if you stay alive, because you've got the maneuverability with the deckers if you need to put them into wheelie mode. You've got 2 naked geos who obviously do geo things and very quick and nimble and all this sorts of stuff. Is that you? Are you setting up your big gun line and going, come at me, or are you moving for position and then setting yourself up? What's your primary focus, and what are you wanting to do most in the list, if that makes sense?
Yeah, most of it is denying shots turn 1. Like I'll stay within 3 inches of my board to deny an aqua shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have 5 things that can triple move in my list. And the only thing that's going to be shot are the aquas, and usually those are going dead last. Like Dooku will go before aquas. Dooku will stay within 3 inches if I want him to. And so both of the aquas are going to come down last and usually just shoot something. And then turn two, I usually play tactical download, and so then it comes about of you can't really hurt me effectively, with all my stuff. And so I'm gonna roll on in there with the droidicas for objectives, and I'm just gonna stay alive long enough, and then my shields are gonna flip up turn 3, and it's still gonna be hard to kill the droidicas.
I'm just going to bring up tactical download for a second, because my brain is forgetting what that one does, because it's
you get 4 dodges.
4 dodges, 4
aims.
aims. Yeah, go on, Andy.
And you gain an immobilized token when you decide to spend one of them, which is completely pointless when you're spending an aim, because the immobilized token goes at the end of the activation. So, the only time outside of it, I think it matters, is if you've taken a standby, because then you can spend it, and the immobilized then still carries over. But it's more about the dodge.
Yep.
It actually matters quite a bit on certain objectives. Like in the final game against Austin, I never actually used the aims because I wanted to shoot move. And shoot move with aquas because it would stop you from moving.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an edge case though. Like,
it can.
Yeah, and it can impact your game decision, as you say. Like, you might be a really bad roll, and you're like, "I wish I did take that aim," but then you're not moving on to the objective. And I think if we just talk about that game with Austin more, I think your decisions to do things like that was probably the reasons you ended up winning.
And is there a scenario? I'm just looking, just my rules. If you have, say, something on a POI late game, one of these droid troopers, that sort of thing, and you go, I'll spend 2 aims, and you're a speed 2 unit.
Read the card, man.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't spend 2.
Oh no, sorry. You spend an aim and then a dodge. You can't spend both. One.
You can't. Well, because you can only spend dodge when you're defending, which is not during your activation, and you can only spend 1 during your activation, because it says while 1 at a time.
Yeah. So in theory, could you build up 2 immobilizers? Is what I'm saying.
If you dodge multiple times.
Yeah, and then not be pushed off the thing.
Yes.
That was what I was going with.
But it's like, If you spend
Right.
multiple dodges, then you get multiple immobilizers.
Yes, but
It
but
only
then you can't be force pushed off. Thing. I was wondering if that was a play that would ever come into existence.
it only takes one dodge to not be pushed off the point because you only need one immobilize to deny a force push or withdraw.
Correct.
Oh yes, because it goes down speed one, isn't it? Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. So okay, wonder if that was a thing that ever came up for you.
Not usually. I usually don't like B1s don't usually come on the point till later in the game. It's usually the Droidicas and the Aquas that'll be on points early.
Yep, that's fair. That makes sense. Well, there was something else I was going to say. Your tactical droid with the Electra stuff. How did he get to? Was he much of a melee beast or not? Because in theory, the Electra stuff is like okay, yeah, it's quite good. But is that? Did you find it effective? Not effective? What was the crack?
So that's exactly why I took it was in theory. I don't think I would probably drop the Electro Staff and put an overclock and take another improv if I were to do this thing again. Because usually I tend to box out my opponent enough that he's not ever actually close enough to double charge something.
Yep.
And I'm usually holding him till later to like slice calm something. So he's more of a technical piece than actually swinging his staff around. I didn't actually use it all that much.
Yeah, because that staff's got the same profile as Kenobi's lightsaber, apart from critical one, and well, not minus the keywords, same dice, excuse me. But gives him charge and stuff like that, and immune pierce, which is pretty, and immune pierce in melee. Sorry, so it's pretty hard to ignore. But there we go. So your day one, obviously you played your 3 games. You actually 3-0 on day one.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's how well. Let's move into the top 60. We'll move into the top 64, just because I have that to hand. So obviously you play it. So I'll shout out all your opponents just because you played quite a few people. So you're 64. You've got Teska 7-4, Patrick Sherlock, what a name, Tyler Hatfield, Sean Sims, Ryan, my face was here, Robinson, and then Austin Miller, the Floridian Jesus at the end. I'm looking at the scores and I'm looking at like 15-2, 11-9, 8-3, 12-9. They're not entirely close. Apart from probably the closest game, and I'm not know probably about it, the closest game is the one with Patrick Sherlock, and you were playing into Ewoks. Given that Andy is a Ewok specialist at the moment, how did you find playing into Ewoks in that game?
I don't usually like playing against Ewoks because most of the way I play my games, I'm kind of entrapping my opponent and removing all their way outs to victory. So I like to start ahead or on equal ground and just slowly remove their paths to victory. And Ewoks, I'm starting. I have to start attritioning them down. Like they're starting ahead of me in terms of activations and things that can come at points like that. So I have to work for it. And so it usually comes down to if their dice are rolling really well, then I can't attrition effectively. And if my dice are really poorly, then I'm going to lose X as well, because they have quite decent firepower, and that's usually why I struggle dealing with that compared to other things.
So you were playing Patrick on bunker and surface scan, and you both had kind of deployment. Andy, you are obviously, like I say, the Ewok person for the moment. Let's say you're Patrick at the moment. You see Justin's list. What are your first thoughts in terms of dealing with Dooku and dealing with the Aquas and dealing with the Deckers? Because your list does not enjoy the suppressive weapons that exist.
What was his exact list? Because did he have C3PO?
Oh, I will need to look it up. Bear with me.
Yeah, because
yes,
okay, so if you're running C3PO, then I don't think you care about suppression because you've got compel. So it means you can just constantly move everything forward. You've got low grey as courage 3. You're inspire 7 if you're also running Chewie and Leia, which you should be.
Let me tell you what the list was. Then you can be better informed. It's 15 acts. It is Wicket with Forest Dwellers, Leia improvised orders, Han improvised orders, low grey triple improvised orders, secret ingredients, C3PO, 3 skirmishers. 2 rebel troopers with an extra man. Skirmisher.
Okay, so it's Anton's version. Okay, so
and Chewie at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So like as soon as you're 15 acts, I kind of roughly like there's only so many varieties you can take with Ewoks.
Yep.
And speaking a lot with Anton when I was list building as well. So the free improvs is because that gives you 100% order control on what unit you want to go last. There is no like mathematically it's just 100% because you've got free uses of it, plus you can got 2 units that can probably recover in between. So you can have up to 5 improvs if you really need to keep something till dead last. With Dooku, the like if I was facing Justin, it's the suppression is less of an issue. Yes, he's got suppressive with the Deckers and Dooku kicks out a load, but you've got courage free plus lots of inspire. So you just make sure that Chewie goes last with inspire free to stop units panicking, so he can't pull that nice little trick off. And I'd probably pick off the Deckers first, if you get the opportunity to. And if you can bog Dooku in combat with like a mega squad, with an extra like yeah, it's hard because you need 2 squads because he's got force push. But like if you can bog him down, he doesn't throw enough dice to kill a unit.
Mm.
So he's only rolling you roll 6 on the ranged attack, but 5 in melee, and you've got 6-man squads. And if you're forcing him to spend the force push to get the unit off of him, it would be less effective. Then he can't then stop a unit from being on a point.
Yep.
Like that's how I would just throw units at Dooku, tie him up, and force him to waste force push in a least optimal way.
I've got visions of Christopher Lee just having a Care Bear, just going thump on his head, and then another one goes thump, 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 just all jumping on him,
Yeah,
and him just
like
sort of swiping away.
I mean, I don't obviously know how the game played out, but that's probably my approach to kind of lessen the impact of Dooku while I deal with other stuff.
So while I was theory, instead of us theorying it, Justin, what happened in the game then? Because obviously, like I say, it was the close one that you've had.
Yes. So I do this. So I do this in several of my games. I split kind of equally at the beginning, and then dumped everything on my right side. Like both Aquas and Dooku. There's a droidic over there, well, and my super tech. And so I started whittling down the Ewoks really quickly, or rather quickly, and then eventually I was able to destroy that bunker, and I kept my left bunker. I secured my left bunker for long enough that it didn't matter that he wasn't able to destroy my bunker, I think,
Oh
in
wow!
time. And I ended up losing one of my service scans because my operative had the service scan, and I think that was a mistake in hindsight. And so he killed my operative and trapped with Chewbacca kind of stopped my droidicas from being able to double speed 3 move and pick it up. Chewbacca was placed in a way that I couldn't do that with the terrain. And so I lost 2 points there, but I was able to secure and / contest all of the bunkers on that turn. So I counteracted that loss of 2 points. And
Do you remember if
so
he played for the tribe turn 1?
yes, it was a turn 1 thing, and this is what my list is really good at. I stayed out of that threat range with literally everything,
Yeah,
except for the Aquas.
it's really interesting because like I've stopped playing it turn 1 because of that. I think it's a televised thing that if you play it turn 1, you just do exactly what you said you've been doing naturally against any list where you stay within range 1 of your board edge, which is like you said 3 inches, but you've got a bit of extra room.
Yeah. Depends on the list whether how far I stay back. If I can go
Yeah.
for more, I will. Yeah.
Where I think I've noticed a few other players who higher skill kind of go, oh, you play that turn 1, I just stay within range 1 of my board edge, and you can't hit me whatsoever, and you've just wasted the card, which it forces your opponent back. But I think when players are happy to be pushed back, it's usually because they've got a plan or they've got units like yourself who can counter it on the following turn by being able to triple move or double move, and it then has 0 impact, and you've wasted a really strong command card. So yeah, I think that's not for anyone listening who's still playing Ewoks. I think playing for the tribe, it's situational on turn 1 now. I don't think it's a compulsory thing. But yeah, that's good.
There's Ewok coaching going on here. That works. Is there anything else extra on that game that you wish to add?
No, I think that about covers how that game went.
Cool. I'm gonna bring up. I'm looking at your games. I'm just sort of looking through. That's the next one. That was the next tight one was 12-9. and you're playing Sean Sims, and that is and he's running droids. I just bring up what the list is that he had. He had the wheel bike. He was wheel bike, tactical, Staps, wheel bike Staps. What? So talks about that game if you can, if your memory is still good. Another one. It was a game against Sean Sims against Dan. What was the crack in that game?
Yeah, so that game I was making quite a few mistakes that game, but he was as well. I think he ended up trapping his persuader tank was stuck in his deployment from terrain for like a turn or two. And so he wasn't
just for context for the people listening, I'll just put the list in, which was he had Grievous up close personal on the bike, Kalani naked, the super attack with Taskmaster, Overclock, Override, Extra Staff, and the target relay. Sunfac, squad of B2s with the T series in and the ACM, one squad of Geos, one B1 and an extra droid, two Staps, Persuader tank with stuff on defense protocols, link target array, door gunners, and the heavy and the aqua droids with link target array and the heavy, which rounded to 11 activations. So yeah, different variant for me. I've not seen this unless because I've not paid much attention. But I've not different. I would have thought maybe the wheel bike would have had the friends with his wheel bike friends, but not in this case. But so yeah, to go. You said he got his persuader tank stuck.
Yeah, so it was stuck in deployment. I think it was only one turn, but he lost a service scan point that way.
Oh.
And so that was a pretty big deal. He waited too long to play the Grievous one pip. I ended up like turn 3 he played it and I'd played Dooku's one pip and I'd put enough wounds on Grievous. I just killed his wheel bike with the saber throw lightning combo. Just straight up killed it before he did anything.
I assume you're talking of the Jedi Arts one pip, not the do-it-myself one pip. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and so that was a huge deal. My dice were also rolling very well, or my defensive dice for that, so that was pretty good as well.
I mean, that always generally tends to help.
Yes.
When building the list, was the logic for the saber throw to counter the Grievous wheel bike?
Not particularly. It does do that. But I've always taken a Dooku saber throw simply because of the flexibility that it has on the one pip turn. Usually I find that you're not getting into melee. Certainly with not burst, I don't have burst on Dooku. But even with burst, I find that there's several situations where you don't end up on melee. And so I take the saber throw simply to allow the fact that I can split fire, put that much suppression out, and I can also just combine it into one big scary pool to take something out as well. And so it provides a lot of flexibility.
Gives you that a lot more flexibility than taking burst, which I tend to take burst, but I do find sometimes that saber throw would have been nicer because he only has that one turn where he's got relentless, and you've got to be able to reach them to make the most of the melee attack plus range attack where you don't need to. So
yeah,
do you think having burst on, as much as it gives you the chance to go surprise, do you think sometimes it can telegraph for certain plays? Sometimes.
I think it's more of if you have burst, you're more inclined to burst in there, and most of the times you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
And so taking it off can kind of prevent you from doing something dumb.
I think there's cases where certain force users, I'm looking at Commander Vader, for example, must take it, and maybe probably Yoda as well. Yeah. But I think they're the only ones who you have to take those. But the other ones, I think you consider and go, don't really need to. I don't have to take it, that sort of thing.
I think, yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think when I've been shifting away from using burst on the one pip, and I find it more helpful on the 3 pip, that you kind of burst into a position that catches your opponent out, then lightning them, then do a speed 2 off the point or pull them closer to you, so then you can follow up on the following turn to get into melee. But I do agree that I think it does force you to play more aggressive and put them into more stupid spots. So not taking it is probably a better idea.
Otherwise, you feel like it's 10 points wasted as well. It's like, oh, I didn't need to do that.
It's probably a real feels bad if you don't use it on Dooku. Like if you've gone the whole game and you've won and you've not used it, or if you've lost, is a worse scenario. And you've not used it, then that's a lot of flexibility wasted.
Yeah, that makes sense. With where we go, bring back the matchup. Just scrolling between things. Obviously, it being a bit of a droid off and all the suppression that isn't there and that sort of stuff and not counting. How did you find? Because I'm looking at you, think outside of the stats, I'm looking at you being a touch more maneuverable with your droidicas and your double geos. And he's definitely got the stats and he's got the geos. I'm looking at you being a touch more maneuverable. Do you think that played a part in that particular game?
The thing with stamps is that they're very fragile. So
Yes.
usually you can kill them off a whole lot easier than you could kill off a Droideka. And so that makes a pretty big difference. And once the stamps, and usually with most CIS lists, once the stamps are gone, there's only like 2 things that are actually a threat. And so you can kind of just get away. You can kind of live like with the rest of your stuff at that point.
Yep. Looking now, moving on to other games. There's a game that was your effectively the semi-final, and I'm looking at it. It was 11-3. You killed 900 and you killed 179. Was that a drop as well? You did a concession as well by any chance?
Yes, at a certain point it was a concession, so that's what got most of the kill points there.
So you're
Was that
playing
Ryan?
That Ryan Robinson, yes.
Yeah.
What was it? So I'm just going to bring up Ryan's list. So he had, excuse me, he had 11 activations. Rex with Recon, Ahsoka, Bad Batch. Ahsoka had Saber Throw, Trusted Agent into the Fray, Padme, Clone Trooper Marksman, Super Squad with Mortar and Dug In, 2 naked infantry, 2 naked arcs, and 2 commandos with the armor and the config. On paper, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Obviously, there's nothing that sort of thing. So what led to such a swing, for want of a phrase?
So what I talked about previously was that I do the thing where I pretend I'm splitting, and then I just dump everything on one side, and I did that in this game. So I had originally planned to do it on the right side because I had a bunch of Droidekas prepared to triple move onto the bunker. We were playing bunker assault and service scan, and I was going to just capture the right side. But he had put I think around 5 units there, and I determined that was not going to be too much, and so I ended up flipping and then putting Dooku and both the Aquas on the left side. And so basically what I did that game is Dooku, I talked about this, Dooku ran in, he pulled 3 things off of the point, and then a Droideka that I'd sent down the middle with reinforcements wheel moded onto that left point, and then an Aqua double moved onto that left point, and I was able to secure that turn 2.
Oh wow, yeah, okay, that'd do it.
And it also got a service scan. He had a service scan on that side as well, so I also scored the service scan by panicking that.
I kind of came across to like just to like have a look how the game was going at a certain point. It must have been maybe you'll probably be able to correct me, like turn 3 maybe with when you played you didn't play Double the Fall.
Yes.
So I feel like I don't know how you feel like the game was positioned at that point, but from an outside perspective, and I was watching probably a good 20 minutes at that point from that point onwards, and I feel like Ryan was probably in his own head because and I didn't really get a chance to speak to the bloke or anything, but from an outside point of view, he was very much annoyed about the fact that you didn't play a command card that he expected. And I feel like from that point on, he might have like beaten himself. I don't know how like far the scoring was at that point because I can't ask or interrupt or anything. But from what I was watching and what I was hearing, he expected you to play a command card. You didn't play that one, and he was then like really annoyed at the fact that you didn't. It was an interesting thing to watch from an outside point of view, but I felt like that then put him in a bad headspace. I don't know if the game was close at that point or not, but
at that point the game was 7-1 I think at the end of turn 2.
Okay, so it wasn't a huge impact.
And turn 3, he was thinking about playing Call Me Captain, and so he thought that I would play Double the Fall in order to stop that. I just didn't think about it. And that's the second time against a very high level player that I just didn't think about it, and they ended up playing themselves out of playing the card. And so I think if he had played it, it probably wouldn't have made that big of a difference. I still it would have been a lot closer. probably, because he would have probably killed Dooku that turn, unless I probably could have kept myself a bit safe. I don't know. It's still up in the air. I don't think it would have changed the game's outcome.
No, that's
But
fair. Especially when it's 7-1 already on the start of turn 3. That yeah, it's quite a big swing you need at that point.
I'm looking at another game. You played Tesca on the first game, 64, and that was a fifth. I think it was. I'm looking at 15-2. Massive, massive like swing on that one as well. Tesca being their list was Yoda with speed, barrier, mind trick, improvised orders, a Jedi Knight with as a guardian, burst of speed, double bladed lightsaber. They're always fun. The Ahsoka squad, which has the shotgun Ahsoka and the clone in just a single trooper. A Rex squad with a shotgun, offensive push, specialist, and Rex. A shotgun squad, single arcs, then another arc but with Echo, and then 2 clone commandos with but these both had HQ uplink. You were playing. Get the game back up again because I keep clicking between it. Here we go. You played Close the Pocket and Bring Them to Heel. That was 15-2, 398 killed versus 338 lost. Is there anything? What was what caused the disparity in score in this particular scenario?
so those 2 objectives are this list's favorite objectives.
Perfect.
Bring Them to Heel and Close the Pocket are very favorable towards my list. Dooku controls the Close the Pocket center extremely well. And Bring Them to Heel is just what my list is kind of geared towards.
I mean, if I'm seeing droidicas come across me and I see someone bring the heel, I'm going no, thank you, because that's very easy for my opponent to score those that particular objective. Really.
Yeah, it's not just the droidicas. It's the fact that Dooku on the 1 pip, slice comms on the super tack, demoralize on the super tack, triple droidicas, aquas can split fire. There's a lot of things that enable Dooku's courage 3, so it's hard to panic something on my side.
Yeah.
So it is incredibly difficult to, and I'm running 5 vehicles, and those 5 vehicles are the things you want to shoot at.
Yes.
And so that's another thing where if you're shooting the things to gain suppression, you're shooting B1s and GOs, which are usually hidden, or you just don't want to shoot them in the first place. So it's a bad deal all around. And then in that particular game, I pretty much just won the center and the left side every round. I think I contested his right side once because he didn't have enough over there to overtake me immediately. And then I just scored the Bring Them to Heel every round, and I think I probably scored the panic, and I think I scored both the panic and the put a suppression on everybody because it tends to be rather easy to do that against a lower actor public.
Yes, that makes sense. That's that one. No, without skipping over anyone else, obviously you played Tyler and you played. You probably mentioned Tyler's game. You won 8-3. The game against Tyler, excuse me, 1-8-3. Against clones on that one on Tyler's list. To give him, he was running Yoda, Rex, Bad Batch, 9-act clones with lots of commandos kicking about. So double commando and Delta. And then clone infantry medic. You won that game, obviously. You won that game. I was checking what it was. 8. Yeah, you won that game 8-3. Anything anything of note on that one? You played intercept and surface scan. You just looking at your missions, by the way. You played close, bunker, intercept, bunker, shifting, and then the secondaries were bring the heel, service scan, recon. So lots of surface scanning taking place.
How many times were you red?
I think it was red quite a few times. So that definitely did help out a bit. I wasn't actually red in the. I think I put this in on long streaks wrong, but I wasn't red in the final game. I was blue that game.
You also blue. You were blue against Tyler, which on that one as well. So anything interesting? I mean, of note on that game that caused a problem for yourself, or something that was a big brain moment for you? What was a positive from the game with Tyler?
So turn 1, he made a really large mistake. Yoda moved down the center of the board, and then he moved again into range. The way the board was, there was not really good line of sight blockers. This was the Ewok, or I guess it was Ewok kind of huts, the huts one with the curvature. Oh, yeah. I had suggested ruling it area so that you could just treat it like a square. He said it doesn't look like area, so we didn't rule it that way. And so I used the curvature of the hut to shoot Yoda twice with aquas and put 4 wounds onto him.
Oh wow, that's rough.
And so he then ran away with Yoda back into his deployment, and Yoda had the service scan, and so he didn't score the service scan that turn, but he ended up healing Yoda, and Yoda came back out, but at that point it was too late. And I kind of just stopped Bad Batch from scoring my right point. I had so much. I basically put all my stuff on the right side of intercept. I didn't even bother going for the left side.
Yeah.
Because I just figured there was no way Droideco was getting in there and living. So I eventually got to his back point with the Geo. I triple moved, and he had nothing on the back point. Geo wasn't an intercept holder, but he had just nothing there, and so I ended up scoring that.
That makes sense.
I want to give a shout out to Tyler though, because he was the last person to make it into the top 64.
Oh, there you go.
So like the admin team did a shout out for him to come up because there was one last spot to fill, and obviously they're going down the list to see, like, there was a couple of spots to fill, and then there was like, right, can Tyler come up? And that was the 64th person to make it. So I think he finished like 54th on the top on the Friday.
Yep.
And then he still. So what round did you play? Was that the second or third round?
I'm looking at it's the third round.
So that would be the top 16 he made it to, after just making it into the top 64 cut.
64, 32, yeah, 64, 32.
Oh, top 8. No,
16. You're right.
16. Yeah, top 16. So yeah, I think that's quite an achievement to be the last person into the cut and still make it that far into.
There's always hope for everybody that way.
Yeah,
it's just my brain wrote. This is the same Tyler from the Indie Garrison. Am I right in thinking the same Tyler?
I believe he's from the Indie Garrison. He was at World Team Championship the first year.
Yes, the same
yeah,
Tyler.
Same guy.
Yeah,
same guy. That's why I was giving him a shout out. I like him.
As I say, nice dude. That's why I wanted to bring it up as well. Nice dude. Well, we'll bring on to the final then. Now, I don't want to think. I can't. I'm 99% sure. Ollie, you ran the same list as Mr. Miller, didn't you?
No, I ran a better version of it.
So I'll let you,
because Austin's a melt.
So we've got Austin's list. I'll read it out, and then you can tell, because you ran something similar. You know obviously about it. We'll talk about the highs and lows of it, and then we'll talk about the game. So you were playing into Krennic with improvised orders, trusted agent and binoculars. Gideon with nothing. Vader as Op Vader with force push, saber throw into the fray, seize the initiative. Shore Troopers, by the way, I vomited a little saying Op Vader. It was a bit weird. Shore Troopers with that was Super Squad with the T-21 and Overwatch. Another one of those, but except it had targeting scope, so 2 Super Shores, and then a Snow Trooper with an ion, and 2 Dark Troopers with the cannon and programmed loyalty. Tell us why he's a melt, and tell us why your one was better.
But he took recon mission.
So his mission, he had recon, sweep and clear, mark targets on the objectives, and yeah, there you go.
Right. So with recon mission, there's no good units for it really. Darks are too slow. Vader, even though he's courage 3, because of the way that droids are at the moment, you can panic him, and it's not even that difficult. With all the free actions that you're getting on the Build-A-Bear droids. I'm not sure the exact name of it, but it throws out a number of suppression.
Slice comms.
And if they've got 2 of them, that's 4 suppression that you've got there. And if you've taken any on the way in, then there's a chance that you just drop your recon token anyway.
Okay.
Which isn't great. You've also only got 8 activations, and a lot of those activations want to be close together, and your list is designed to be an attrition list. So you don't want there to be 2 units within range to a Vader at times, because you want to be killing faster than that. So having recon in there was a poor choice. Instead, it needed to be swapped in for supply drop, because unless your opponent has got guidance or overclock, then shifting priorities supply drop is almost unscorable for your opponents, and it is scorable for you because of the way that Dark Troopers work.
Yep.
And it's a thing that so few people actually know about, that you will catch out 95% of the people you play it against.
So what you're saying is, if I see Dark Troopers and supply drop in there in someone's list, I'm trying to veto probably the primary before I can veto the secondary.
No. So you don't want that particular combination. So you don't want shifting and supply drop.
Oh, okay. Not both together. Okay. Noted.
I think even I've been thinking about this more and more that supply drop actually with any force user is an issue. Because of the it's like Justin has Dooku. So if your opponent stood there with a box about to score it, and Dooku wins priority because he's got cunning, he could just double move, force push the unit off. They now can't score the supply drop. So I think like your combination is really strong, but I think also supply drop with any force user, it's for the first objective. I think that really favors force users.
Maybe that was the intent, because maybe certain other ones were a little bit on the plus side. But the irony being, obviously, for the purpose of this final, is that recon was the secondary. It was shifting and recon. Obviously, Justin won 11-7. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking. And you scored 149 points. Austin scored 317. I'll let you, Ollie and Andy, you can lead this conversation as you watched more of the final than I did. And Justin, obviously, you played it. So, Justin, have you played Austin before or not? Because I obviously played it a lot, and obviously, Alabama's not exactly a million miles away from Florida.
I had not played him before.
Okay. So, had you played against that type of imperialist yet? I don't, because you didn't play any Empire until unless you played one on the Thursday. I didn't read them out, but you didn't play any Empire in the top 64 leading up to it.
I had not played against that kind of list, but I knew all its tricks.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't going to get anything past me.
Good. I like that answer.
Would you have known about the shifting?
Yes, absolutely. I'd played that personally at Cherokee previously, and so I'd played shifting supply run several times with Dart Troopers, and so I knew about that. And I probably would have tried to ban shifting because it was the first primary on the thing if he had supply run.
Just putting it out there, because I probably might not be the only one. Why? And there might be other people who say, why shifting recon is that so bad with Dark Troopers? Can you just
because the objectives move.
Yep.
So you run in to get yourself into range half. So at the start of your activation, that you can score it on the following turn.
Mm-hmm.
Then the objectives move, which makes it more difficult for you to score it. So you have to purposefully lose a point and then position yourself so that you can move that said point closer to you for when you activate.
Right.
That's the only way that you can score the secondaries on shifting and supply drop, unless you're dark.
You don't have to be controlling the objective to score supply drop. So you can.
You have to be just be contesting it.
Yeah, so you can suicide a squad onto a point, which is just as dangerous. Like there is that as an option. Like dive onto a point you know you're not going to win as a last activation, ready for next turn. Like it's not a great idea, but it's also another way of scoring it with shifting.
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any time where you would ever do that though, because you just move yourself to range 1 of the objective, and then you move that objective range half when you've already lost it. So there's no need to suicide a unit, because you can then just go with that unit first, score it, and run.
Yeah, it saves you having to run onto it. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the reason that Darks get around this obviously is because they've got the second activation in which they can then. So the first activation they move once and shoot or stand by or whatever, and then on the second activation you then score your points. So it's a really good combination for shifting and supply drop.
Cool. Okay. There's that. There's the layman's explanation for anyone who was sitting there going, please remind me and tell me why. So that's cool. So Justin, you were saying you played against this archetype list, but so what are you wary of, and what's your game plan when going into this particular match?
I did not want to end up on an objective that favored attrition lists. Most of this game was played turn 0, because when you're playing, I consider that kind of list to be a skew list of sorts. You're going for specific objectives, and I want a neutral objective that's not. I don't want sweep and clear. I don't want marked targets, and I don't want bunker assault. Those are like the 3 things I don't want against that list. And I ended up avoiding all of those 3 things. And so at that point, I was feeling pretty okay. Because those standbys don't really mean anything, because reinforcements means I can just move right in, never get shot by those standbys. And I think the fact that Austin didn't know that means if he did know that, he probably would have just shot the shores at something else, rather than take a standby, because the standby wouldn't have really done anything.
Yeah, him taking those standbys turn 1 was a game losing mistake almost.
I think it was. I think it was the start of the downhill struggle for him personally.
Yeah, if he'd have volleyed 2 units at range 4 with them, then it might have been it may have been slightly different moving into turn 2.
Yeah, and I definitely tried to restrict his options for that. Like, he did not. I don't know if he even had a shot with the shores on the left, until the aquas go, because he was holding on to those dart troopers for a very long time, and I think he just needed to go with the shores last, rather than wait for those, rather than position the dart troopers, rather than hold on to those 2 activations. I think the shores were more important to hold on to.
Yeah.
Shores should always be go. So it should be 2 shores and Vader as the last things to go with. Obviously, dependent if you already kind of know where Vader's going, there's a good piece of terrain for him, then he can go before the shores. But if you're going up against like a Yoda, it's gonna be kind of going right. Well, here's my Yoda, and well, you kind of just want to be able to be reactive with Vader.
I honestly was kind of expecting some ruthless shenanigans turn 1, because I think the problem with those shores is that they don't have dug in, and so an aqua shot can really mess them up before they ever go on turn 1. And I think that's a pretty large deal if something like that happens. Like, that first shot that I took with the aquas on turn 2 knocked off 3 or 4 shore models. And if that had happened turn 1, then they lose a lot of their offensive output.
Yeah, so if you don't have 2 pieces of area terrain to hide your shores behind at the start of the game, then you leave them off the board, and you give an order to get. So you play. There's another thing. So he was playing Master of Evil over Assault, and it's these niche moments. In fact, it's exactly these niche moments are the reason why I don't want Master of Evil in my command cards. I want Assault. Because if I'm not seeing a good space to hide the shores, I'm going to play Assault. I'm going to give an order to both of the shores and to Gideon, and then I'll pop either Trusted Agent or Seize so that Vader also gets an order. And then you have freedom then of knowing that, right, okay, well, the shores can ruthless on to double move and then shoot at something if they want to. You can come on with Krennic early and position him where you want the shores to sort of come on, so you've at least got an aim locked in there. And it keeps them off the table versus those aqua shots as well.
Yeah.
I think you've also got a good advantage with your aquas with infiltrating, because we saw that turn 1 where you can infiltrate into a standby and it doesn't trigger because you're infiltrating, which is where you place and you're not triggering it. So I thought that was a good move.
Yeah, well, that didn't really come up. I mean, we're both smart enough players that we didn't put. He didn't put me in range for like an infiltrate shoot move. The thing is, the reinforcements, standbys not being able to trigger off that, him not knowing that's what allowed me to move into the standby range without actually ever being shot.
And also the bad placement of Gideon slightly in front of them shores to be shot.
So. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I took the Kalani reinforcements card over You Disappoint Me. I don't actually have the Dooku 3 pip. Was because of standby castles.
Yeah, I think if you had your thumb on the meta quite well with the standby castles and obviously Willbite Greg, I think you had good answers for everything when you look at your list. Obviously, you've got the Saber Throw Cunning, so even if he does get the 1 pip off with Willbite Greg, because that was obviously the big list this year that everyone was worried about, and ironically, the highest placed one was somewhere in the top 16, I think, somewhere like. So you've got answers for that. You've got answers for the standby castles.
I think weirdly differently. I think Wheelbite Greg has been the boogeyman for long enough that everybody had time to plan. So if you look at previous years, where what the boogeyman lists were, Blizzard, people didn't have loads of time to plan into Blizzard Force.
They had ages. You had like
No,
nine. It dominated for like 6 to 9 months.
I was going to say, how many games
no,
did you
not
manage to get in a game with that? You got 300,
It
was it, or something like
it
that?
won so many GTs in the States, like
I
with
don't.
Kyle and everyone was running it. Like it was the Dark Troopers that came out at just before Worlds, same period
That
as
was it.
Blizzard. It was Darks that no one
Dark's
had.
not Blizzard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
so
saying you're
but
on the right
because of
saying
that, but
though.
then like the Yoda Padme list, EXD, people didn't have enough time to plan into that.
Yep.
I think we only saw EXD maybe 3 or 4 months before.
They'd
Did
been
they
out for
not?
a while, but I
I
don't
was going
think
to
they
say
actually
no.
started like people finding
It was the
like
I think they got that PDF got revealed like the November, didn't it? And then
yeah, but it wasn't until January, February that we started seeing a few people running it and doing well with it. So like I think you're right. Like the lists where you have short periods of time to counter and build a meta for it. Like everyone was building lists. Like as Ewoks, I had an answer for Will by Greg, and I made sure I did every list I was building. I made sure I had an answer for what to deal with him because he was the big boogeyman. But then that just means it's a shit list because everyone has an answer for it.
Mm.
So
I think
yeah,
there's some value to the fact that it's good enough to where literally everybody has to have an answer for it. There's not any people that are saying, "Oh, I don't have to have an answer for it. I don't have to build my list to deal with it."
yeah, I
yeah,
think the more ambitious you are in terms of placing in 64s, 32, 16s, and winning, then you have to have more answers in your list, and it has to be more dynamic to deal with different threats. But if you're not bothered by that, then yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's
I think you kind of just make a call when something is. I mean, look at my Fury Road. That was a call directly against EXD. But had most of the good players in the UK not been running it, perhaps I wouldn't have been prepping into it so much.
yeah. I
yeah.
think your local meta probably obviously dictates what you get the chance to play against in terms of practice into, unless you're traveling around a bit, or b just gives you the experience of your own list, if that makes sense, and knowing what you can deal with.
Hmm.
Yes. Justin, any final thoughts on the final that you had, and then we will move on to our next topics.
No, I don't think so. Austin was great to play against. We both weren't, strictly following, you know, you touched, you started moving. Now you're gonna have to do this exact thing. No going back now. Like that whole kind of thing. I never had any opponents that were like doing the rules strictly as written, kind of ordeal.
I'm quite a fan of a stat, because obviously we need to. So Austin came second. We need to give it. So there's great performance there. This is a stat that I love. Andy, how many of Austin's games were not draws out of the, excluding the Thursday or Friday that you played, of the top 64, of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games that he played? How many were not draws?
You mean like as in he won on kill points?
Correct.
So I know he drew against me, and I think he drew the game before as well. So I'm gonna probably add another one on it as well. So three.
He drew 10-10 with Isaiah's other half. He drew 12-12 with Matt Evans. He won 12-9 outright against Ben Lear. He drew 8-8 with you. He drew 10-10 with Jojo Binks, and then lost 11-7, obviously, to Justin. That, for me, that's insane. Like, not just the fact that he's drawn one on kill points, but it's like the frequency of it. That's just impressive, full stop. And I was like, oh. So props to Austin for that as well. So congratulations to everyone who made top 64. Obviously, Justin, congratulations to yourself
Indeed.
being the champ. Do you have anyone you'd like to thank? We'll have the next. Not going to do this again. We'll do this now. Anyone you would like to shout out and thank for giving you the opportunity to be where you are today?
Well, I'd like to thank God first and foremost. Help me get through mentally. I'm a pretty I'm a Christian, And so that's the top front thing on my mind.
Yeah, man, makes sense.
Yeah.
Where is there any friends and that you play against in your local area?
Yeah, I play against. I've got Travis, Adam. I'll just put their names out there. Those are pretty much the two local guys I play against frequently. And then there's a guy in Birmingham I visit sometimes, Danny Williams. And so I play against him.
So it's Travis, Adam, and Danny, you say?
Yeah.
So that your success is built off their backs, they can claim some credit as well, I think.
Yeah, Travis plays a lot of Ewoks, so he helps me practice against that.
Oh, look how that worked out. That's where that works out quite well. Then that's all good. But is there and do you play anywhere particular? Is there a store or a gaming club that you have that you want to just mention or shout
out? Yeah, High Ground Hobbies is a place where I frequent.
High Ground Hobbies, and that could not be more of a Star Wars name if you tried with that one, could it really? All good. But so, thank you, congratulations on there. But we're gonna now talk about the exciting stuff of the future. So obviously, the secondary to your win was the reveals at Adepticon this year. So we thought let's have Justin on and let's talk about the reveals as well, because it'll be really cool to get the champs' perspective on what's coming out. Now, there's going to be we're not going to do deep dive because there's a billion things to go through, but we'll cover everything as much as we can. And then if anyone who's listening wants to say, I want you to go back into that and do a deep dive, we will. But we'll start at the beginning. The first thing that was revealed was Q4 2026. Scoundrel, what's it called? Mercenary Han and Chewie unit. Equip Han and Chewbacca a la Bad Batch style. So you have both of them together as a unit. They have eyes on the prize, which we don't know what that is yet, and they have steady, so they can shoot after moving. They have self-preservation, which we don't know what to do, and they have uncanny luck. That is as far as they surge hit, speed, courage 2, speed 2, surge hit, save as well. Andy, we'll rotate this, and just Andy, thoughts on this one first, then Olin and Justin.
It's really like there's not anything amazing on that card, like to begin with, like the because we don't know what eyes on the prize does.
No, and we also don't know what's on the, because a la Bad Batch, the cards had. They all had a thing on them, so it'd be interesting to see what's on those as well.
Assuming that Chewie will probably have more health than Han, like in a Bad Batch Wrecker style. I imagine you'd kill off Chewie first because he is the person who dies out of the two of them. Spoilers. No, it's wrong way around. Wrong way around. Sorry. The Han dies first, isn't he?
Well, it depends what canon you're looking at, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, in the books, it's Chewie who dies first. Sorry. So like, assuming with steady, I feel like there's going to be a lot of pierce in their attack pool because Han has pierce 2, Chewie has pierce 1 natural in the normal units. So I feel like they could hit quite hard. Courage 2 will probably be an issue, like it currently is for Han. But it's so until we can see it, like what the unit cards are.
Until we see the weapons as well, because I'd like to think that that Chewie's bowcaster will be a touch more powerful than his comrade's average bowcaster, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, but then if it's a Bad Batch style, I imagine it'd be slightly less.
No, but they'll come with maybe some interesting actions. So
like special abilities or something.
Yeah, like Hunter's got his knife.
Like Hunter, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Knifey spoony, but maybe more rari pulley arms out from Chewbacca. Who knows?
You've got to always let the Wookiee win, right? Correct. And like the interesting thing will be with this, like, will they get access to it, like both their character command cards?
Cool, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, like obviously Han on foot currently has 3 command cards because he can't use any of the Tauntaun ones. You've then got Chewie's command cards on top of. So if you then get the Leia Chewie command card that works as well, where they get to add the dice pool, that could get quite spicy.
Yes. Did it? Where does it fill? What slot? It fills operative. It fills an operative. Yeah. So it fills a very packed out slot in the Rebels. So it'd be interesting. Like you've got your Din and Bad Batch, among others. So I actually don't think that spot is as fought over as it used to be. No, I'm inclined to agree because sometimes things have fallen off.
So you look at the 2025 meta. Bad Batch was massively prominent in Rebel lists. Now Din seems to be taking more of a front seat. So I think that the operative slot is a perfect slot for them, because then that will free you up to more interesting commanders. I with this kind of with stuff like Han and Chewie being bundled together, and obviously we've seen what was released in the Rebel Heroes box. Was there a Luke in that?
Yes.
Yes, it's operative Luke. Is in the box.
Yeah, so but I think I'd like to see more like Commander Luke, Leia, like that kind of, like, get it. It seems that AMG have really pushed for more thematic styles. Obviously, them upping the points by 200 has allowed for that in terms of like stocking up on characters. So with those two being slapped in an operative slot together, I'd like to think that will give us room for things like Commander Luke, Leia, and then you've got space for another operative in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can do Han, Luke, Han, Chewie, Luke, Leia, and Bad Batch. Like, how many characters? And that's loads of cool characters on the table before you've even then shoved some troops on there. And who's the unit upgrade that Rebels have?
Cassian.
Yes.
Yeah. So then you can have Cassian on there as well. So then you've got how many named characters? Like,
1, 2,
I don't know if that would be any good, but I like
5 there. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can do that.
That's interesting. That's done. Justin, anything from yourself? We'll move on to the next one, which is really fun.
They're never gonna see play because Han Solo operative Tauntaun exists.
It's a very, very fair point at the moment these days. Tune in to the next episode to find out more about this. My journey with Tauntauns. Moving on, Justin, I'll leave with you on this one. However,
is that after you sent Dave a message crying saying that you no longer wanted to be a coin flip, so you asked him to train you?
Yeah, pretty much. And there's no shame in that. Ask him because and he said,
"Oh, he never told me that."
And he said yes, and he said yes. So I take his advice. It's fine.
Well, I suppose he is jobless at the moment, so he might have enough. He might have enough time to make you into a 2-1.
Wow! No, we had look. It was a very interesting lesson in how he builds lists, which I've not heard from either of you two bastards. So there we go. So that's what I'm going to say. Right, moving on. Come on, we're going. So leaders of the Separatist Alliance. I'll leave with Justin this one, but we basically have Grievous, Dooku, Asajj, a command card, Admiral Trench, and Savage in there. And the command card I'll read out just says, it's called For the Cause. You must nominate a commander, nominate a leader as a commander to play this card. When issued an order with this card, it gains a surge, and it's a 1 pip that orders 1 commander and 2 operatives. So interesting in terms of order control. So that's 1. But moving the fun part, Savage Oppress. Savage can be not a pure merc from the Black Sun. What's it called? The Shadow Collective, or he can be in the Separatists. His cards, his card is Jump 1, Demoralize 1, Engage 2, Immune, Pierce, Retinue, Maul on the Shadow Collective, and then in the droids, it's
just Retinue Dooku instead.
Dooku. His lightsaber is Double Rainbow, Impact 2, Pierce 2, Ram 1, and he has got a ranged attack which is Poison 1, Scatter, Dark Fury, range 1, 2, 3 black dice, 6 health, 2 courage, and no surges. We've got 1 command card on here. Andy, would you take the cut? Do you want to read the command card out?
Yeah, sure. It issues an order to Maul and Savage, and it's We shall start with revenge for a 1 pip. Savage Oppress may suffer up to the current round number in wounds. Then for each wound token Savage has, Savage gains 1 aim token. Finally, for each wound token Maul has, Maul gains 1 aim token. And then at the end of it, choose 1 of Maul's command cards in your discard pile. If able, return the chosen command card to your command hand. So it's got that Chewy effect at the end of it. And then you can also trigger 1 pip, like both of them having wounds on them for cool stuff, like Enrage for Savage, then he gets charge,
Yep.
and then Maul obviously to trigger his Jujitsu or Juju mastery. Yeah.
I'll go to the Separatist player on this one first. Justin, Savage and Separatists, what are we thinking?
He's fifth brother without block. It's got to be like 80 points to be playable. Yeah. I mean, he's a guy who swings a lightsaber. I don't know.
And he takes an operative slot. I failed to mention that one. So that's your first. That's your take as a CIS. Ollie, I'll chuck to you as the Shadow Collective, more expert than me and Andy. Thoughts?
In Shadow, yes. In CIS, not so much, and that's because Shadow is screaming out for additional units to kind of shake up the battle force a little bit. So, like, I think with having both of them, it adds what Shadow Collective has been missing, which is a second line to how it plays. Because at the moment with Shadow Collective, you have you have two base builds and then splashes. So you're either all in on Black Suns to be good, or you're all in on Pikes to be good, with a selection of Mandalorians and buses. Whereas now, I think you can take less of that sort of approach, and you can probably go Maul, Savage, and some Mandos as like a one flank, and then some Black Suns and buses as another. So I think that allows you to kind of split your army in half and have two lines you can play down. So I think it's a good bonus for it.
I will say the model looks delicious as well. That is a very cool model for Savage as well. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to Admiral Trench. I think, Andy, you'll like this one. So I'll let you read the card out because I'm reading my glasses.
Wordy, man.
Do the noise, Andy.
Oh, what the kind of clicky.
Yeah, no, you can't just say kind of clicky. Do it, you coward.
I don't know if that's coming through. It's probably not even coming through when I'm trying to click on there.
No, it was me. It was me doing it. Right, go on and read it out because it is wordy, and that's why I chose you to do it.
Yeah. I smell fear and it smells good. It smells of dogs. 2 units. Choose up to 2 enemy units. Each chosen unit gains 1 ploy token. This round, at the start of each allied unit's activation, you may choose an enemy unit that has 1 or more ploy tokens. If you do, remove 1 of those ploy tokens and resolve 1 of the effects below. The chosen unit loses a green token. The chosen unit gains 2 suppression. If the chosen unit has a face-up order token, shuffle it into that opponent's order pool.
That's fun. I haven't got the unit. We haven't got the unit card, so you're not missing anything here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do Court in the Web for you? Just you
read yes. Then Admiral Trent's got a 0-point upgrade, which is for him only, called Caught in the Web.
Would you like me to read as you just did, Captain Wordy? Then
go on. Yeah.
Choose up to 2 enemy units within 5, and in line of sight. Each chosen unit gains 1 ploy token. Admiral Trench may then make this action twice per activation. When an enemy trooper within 5 and line of sight has 1 or more ploy tokens attacks an allied unit, he may spend 1 of those tokens. If you do, the attack is resolved. After the attack is resolved, the enemy gains 2 suppression tokens. It's like, so okay, attack me and take 2 suppression, that sort of thing. That's basically.
It's not attack him.
No, attack me as in my army.
Yeah, that's the stupidness of this. I don't know what Justin feels like, but this just seems crazy.
I think it depends. There's a lot of. You play Ewoks, so it's going to trigger for you. But for Separatists, it's not going to trigger all that much because most of the time your shooting's being done by vehicles, and so the suppression won't ever matter. I also think this. I'm not sure. It depends on what the rest of his card is and how much he costs. Right.
Do you not think the fact that you can just, I suppose, as you said, like two suppression though on anyone who decides to attack your army, like at any point in the game, can be quite tipping because you can be on a POI and you'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot, and you can't now at all because you could panic yourself or put yourself close to.
I think that depends on the situation. Like if you have a Courage 3 commander, it's going to take quite a bit of effort other than just, 2 suppression hitting you.
But it's
It,
like that's one less attack or one less suppressive attack you need to make. So it makes it easier for your you then do a droidica attack and a splice comms, and that unit's now panicked.
I think it's timing and something you got to set up, but I don't think it's going to be that crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we shall move to the next one, but we will just because Mr. Dyer his time is up. He has a bedtime that he's got to go to, so we'll just say, Ollie, thank you for being on. Anything you'd like to say before you leave?
Nah, all good. Pleasure meeting you, Justin, in America, and hope to see you again in the AdeptiCon next year.
Yeah, Ollie was
And
gunning for his former crown.
And Andy eats dogs.
Yeah, there you go. Cheers, Ollie. We'll see you
Cool.
next time. Lovely.
Bye.
Bye. Moving on to the next Adepticon reveal unit. This one I'm very excited about. So I feel the same way about this when I saw the custom Jedi, and as much as the custom Jedi aren't the hard hitters that maybe they might have been thought of, but these just for me it's Star Wars. So Jedi Council unit box. It comes with Mace Mace Windu, Plo Koon, Ki Adi and Shak T. Give me all the Jedi, or give me all these guys, and I'm like, oh, wonderful. Now, what's quite fun is I think it looks like you can run them as a unit. Am I right in reading that? Because they've got their lead. You add this, no, or they can be added to infantry, I should say, like Echo and things like that. So I can't see Ki, Plo, and Mace, but I can see Shak. Shak T, leader. She's melee, ranged, so a bit like Ahsoka. This unit gains cash aim and loses self-preservation. Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Allied Republic units can issue this unit orders, even if they do not have the same affiliation. That's interesting. And this unit gains immune melee pierce, and Shakti's lightsaber is 2 red, impact 2 pierce 1. And then there's a command card that's been revealed as well, which is this round. While it's 2 units, a pip 2. This is what we can see. You can't really see much of the other one. 2 units, pip 2, a disturbance in the force. The artwork on that is pretty cool. This round, while a unit issued an order with this card has a face-up order token, it has Danger Sense 1 and Indomitable. Yes, please. Danger Sense hasn't existed, I think, until in the Republic. I don't think so. So that's interesting. Andy, you might correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it exists on any of the Republic units yet.
Not on the Republic.
No, but it's on the Pikes, but that's not.
It's not real.
Until the end of the round, when an allied unit with 1 or more force upgrades slots spends or loses a standby in this round, after the effect is resolved, it gains an aim and a dodge. That feels weird. After it's resolved, it gains an extra aim. So if it has a standby, it then gains an aim, which it could share depending on where it's going. So who knows? But you'd have a force upgrade in there to make it shareable. So there's cards we can't see, which mean that makes things interesting. We'll see what's going on. I'll do the Jedi units and we'll talk about all of them together at the end. So we've got Plo Koon as jump 1, distract, which is free, charge, defend. He's got all the keywords: charge, defend 1, deflect, direct clone, immune pierce, inspire 2, and he's got the Ahsoka mastery where it's the old school deflect. His lightsaber is 5 black, impact 2, pierce 2. He surges hit and he's 6 and 3 speed 2. He's got He's got a command card, which is when Plo Koon is issued an order. This card he can make 2 distract free actions. Now, Andy, rules query. Does that mean he can make those actions on top of his other one? So that means he does distract 3.
The
way the wording is, he can make two
distract free actions. No, because normally it'd be 1, because you can only ever do 1 action. You can only ever do each action once.
Yep.
So the command card is letting you do the free action twice.
Cool. There you go. That's fine.
It's when you issued an order, so it doesn't even happen in the activation. So
thank you. There you go. Didn't it slip past that one?
Didn't even clock that. Yeah. So then that means on his activation, he can then do a 3rd distract.
Interesting. Until the end of the round, when another allied unit is issued an order with this card, it's a 2 pip. It orders Plo and 2 units. When another allied issued with this card, its activation within 2 of Plo Koon Plo Koon may make a speed 1 move. And then he also has an upgrade. You're not all the same to me.
You are.
During setup, choose one allied. Is that what you said to the dogs? Choose one allied clone trooper infantry unit. This chosen unit gains retinue Plo Koon, and that is a command upgrade for 5 points. So that's Plo. We'll do all of them and then we'll come back. Ki Adimundi, jump to Ataru, which is the Yoda one, so he can attack twice and then gain tokens and that sort of stuff. It's attack twice. Yes, because he's got a charge. Danger sense, deflect. More danger sense. Interesting. Danger sense, immune pierce, master force 1. His lightsaber. I read it and went, oh, that's pretty patent. It's 2 red, 2 black. And then I went, oh yeah, he gets to attack twice. That's not bad. He's got impact 2, lethal 1, pierce 1. We've been given a command card from him, which is Dandy. You can read this one because I've read a bit.
Force of Will. So it's 3 units this round. At the start of Ki Adimundi's rally step, you may choose up to 3 allied units within 2 of him. Each chosen unit may remove up to 2 suppression tokens. Then for each suppression token removed in this way, Ki Adimundi gains 1 suppression token and may ready 1 of his exhausted force powers. Additionally, each time Ki Adimundi uses a force upgrade this round after the effect is resolved, he gains a surge token.
Yes, he doesn't surge either way, so he's 6 and 3, health 2, speed 2. He is a commander, I should say. Plo Koon was down as an operative. I forgot to mention that one.
Yeah.
The next one up, Shakti, jump 1, quick thinking, aid non-republic unit. That's an interesting thing on that one. Allies convenience, naturally built in. Charge, deflect, immune pierce, Makashi, which is the Asajj Ventress one, spending dodges again to turn dice. Her lightsaber is 3 red, 3 black, impact 2, pierce 2. She's 6 and 3, operative, surges, crit. Her command card, this round once per activation, when an allied republic unit or gains 1 or more aim tokens or 1 or more dodge tokens, after the effect is resolved, you may choose an allied unit with the mercenary keyword within 2 of the allied core unit. This with the allied republic unit, this chosen gains a token of the same type. So this is leaning into you trying to build lists with pikes and other mercenaries that exist somewhere, maybe. I don't know. So that's
you've got the pirates.
Yes, we create pirates. Thank you. That was the one. And last but not least, Samuel L. Jackson himself as a commander. Here's the beefy card. Jump 1, charge, compel in Republic. Hallelujah. Compel in Republic's great. Deflect, immune pierce, master force 1, and Vapad. We don't know what Vapad does. We don't know what it does. Windu's purple lightsaber is 3 red, 1 white, 2 black. Impact 2, pierce 2. He has a range attack that is 4 black dice, force crush, which is blast, immobilize, and immobilize 1 suppressive. He surges both ways. He is 6 and 3 as a commander, and his 1 pip is revealed, which was when Mace is issued an order with this card. He may suffer 1 to 3 wounds. Don't like the idea of that on my Jedi's. This round, when Mace Windu would use the Vapad Mastery keyword while he is engaged and add red attack or defense dice instead of white attack or defense dice.
So, as a assumption, you can assume that Vapad gives white extra defense dice. So it's like a danger sense, but not.
Oh wow. Okay, that's interesting, especially on something
that, as a guess,
especially on something that surges crits as well. Because we all know white dice just roll crits only, that sort of thing.
No, it's only defensively. This isn't I think. Is that right?
No, you roll extra dice on attack and defense.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Wow, both. Wow. So that's the Jedi High Council. Right, that's all of them. I've got nothing else to add on High Council. What are we thinking?
Go on, Justin, you can go first.
Yeah, Justin, go first, man.
So I've actually played against Mace on TTS.
Oh, okay.
Times.
He's not
I think I think we assumed Vapad does what, like, the best case scenario, in which case it's always active while he has wounds, not just while he's engaged.
Okay.
He's not good. 165 points is too much. Anakin's a way better beat stick, by far, and Mace is kind of just a beat stick. Compel is interesting, but I don't think it's enough to outweigh Tempted and Jimso on Anakin. And Anakin's command cards are way better. The 2-pip and the 1-pip are just extraordinary. So that's Mace. Shock T looks extremely interesting depending on her points cost because Pierce 2 with Makashi and 6 dice.
I was going to say all of this is very dependent on what their points costs are. But you would imagine because they're down to 2 operatives, 2 commanders, that they're going to be. That means that a blade that's going to take I don't know, less than 500 points because then you've got the extra 2 whatever.
We know Mace's point cost because it was revealed. It's 165 points.
Oh, I missed that then. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, because we got his card as a participation for AdeptiCon.
Oh, did you? Oh, well, I didn't see that. Okay,
yeah, you did. You shared on the socials.
Oh, I missed. You know, I shared so much. Then I missed that one. Cool. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm really excited to see these as a person who have primary Republic allegiances. I think it's going to be make the roster for Republic more interesting, especially when you've got the idea of Shakti doing things with mercenaries is really interesting because that's not something. It was something that happened, but it's not something you see much more of these days.
Yeah, I think Shakti could open up a new list building maybe for clones, which would be quite cool and unique and different. The one that I'm most interested probably in is Kia Adimundi, just because Danger Sense, it gives you extra red defense dice.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. His completely aside, his death scene on is it Boss Pity where he dies.
Oh, he just gets shot, gunned down.
Where he goes, dun, 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 come on, and then they just go, no, we're going to gun you down. He's all that snow planet. That's why my clones are snow faces because I love that scene. It was like no, but then what? That's it. But yeah, you've got. I mean, we're going to touch on something now because we're moving on to something of the Mandalorian variety because they are now something that could appear in the Republic. And given Shakti has her thing that helps mercenaries, I wonder what Mandalorians might be. And talking of Mandalorians, they're the next ones coming. That's what's next on the reveals. They've been reboxed. The first image I have on the thing was the Mandalorian warriors, Mandalorian initiates. And I'm going to do this in an order because it was all spoiled at the end that something special happened. So you've got Mandalorian initiates. You can put 5 minis with red save, surging crit, 5 blades. That's all I've got. That's their basic. They've got long shot as well. Their blaster rifles 1 black. That's what they got. That's that, and they move at speed 2. No, go on.
Like the biggest important thing that you've not even mentioned about them though. How many are in a squad?
5.
Yeah.
The first thing I said.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. 5 of them in a squad. 5 red save minis in the squad. Hello. So that's very, very, very interesting. Although I do wonder, there was a bit of me that thinks maybe that's because that Pierce is such a thing these days that red save units need them a little bit. But that's just my.
What games do you play where there's Pierce is prominent? Sorry.
Well, no, but Pierce is not the friend of the red save, is it? I mean, it's not. But it just seems Pierce is not.
It's not like
it's not. It's problematic.
Everywhere.
It's not everywhere, but
it's so. It's not like it was, I don't know, back in 2021, like 2019, where everyone was taking free sniper teams.
Maybe maybe not that, but like lots of units have Pierce these days, and now and obviously with the advent,
I don't think they do. Like, I think it's really like it's restricted behind characters, like outside of commanders and operatives.
The shotguns on fleet, shotguns on the
which are range 2. Like it's such a like.
But you'll be putting. But now you can put Ahsoka in that unit with the shotgun.
Which is a character.
In a core unit, which gives you Pierce 2.
I don't think it's prominent, but go on.
Based on what I've heard from AMG, I think they talked about how they didn't really like the extra dude thing, the extra dude upgrade, like just adding one single guy.
That.
And so I think what they did is they took that extra dude and they just stapled him onto the unit card to begin with.
Why not? That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's a reboxed then. Then you have then it's like, what's this? What's this box? Mandalorian Army box. The words "Hell yeah" came straight to mind. You've got a new sculpt Din, a new sculpt Grogu, and the Armorer. Andy, I mean, do you want to lead the way on these ones, mate? I can't read the command cards; they're quite faint on the picture of the imagery.
I think they're like very blurry. Yeah, I
They're
can't
very
even
blurry.
see
So we won't do the command
I
cards
think you
just so we
can.
don't want to do them justice. But
The name is for the 2 pip is aerial assault. The 3 pip is weapons are something. I
might be. I
can't
think the
quite
weapons
make.
are our religion. I think maybe
That would make sense. Yeah, and then there's a big
something Mandalorian.
crocodile dragony thing.
It's a crate dragon.
I'm assuming it's a crate dragon, but I can't work out anything it
Something
says.
something Mandalorian. But Din
Yeah,
Djarin, now he's
Din.
got the unit. No, sorry, he's got the infantry upgrade. So take it away.
Yeah, so only in I don't know what they're called in this affiliation. It's the Hammer and Tong affiliation.
Is it Exiles?
I don't know. Um, and
The
then
one,
so
the one from the Mandalorian series. That one.
yeah, it's essentially it's the we are the what is it he says
This is the way.
yeah, this is the way. Like I don't know what their actual affiliation name is. But once per round, when this unit is chosen as a target of this is the way keyword, whatever that does, it gains a surge token. He has lethal 1, range melee to 2, 1 red, 1 black for 30 points. Depending on how you trigger this is the way, and he goes in a squad of the Mandalorian initiates, you're basically giving them surge to defend.
We don't know what this is the way it does yet, do we?
I don't think so. I haven't heard or seen anything on any of the podcasts.
And then obviously the other one is the armorer, same affiliation.
Yeah.
I think it's really gonna depend on whether that's start of activation phase. Because if it's not start of activation phase, you're playing 30 points for probably not getting that surge until after they've already gone, and I think that's a huge difference.
That will impact the value of it for sure.
100%, yeah. Especially when you look at the cost of the next one, the armorer. She's 40. At the minute she becomes the leader, as does Din. This unit increases its courage by 1 and gains reliable 2, and she's got 2 red, 2 black as her melee weapon, PS1. That's 40 points. Ouch is the word on that one. That's a lot of points, but you hope that I think you'll find that that'll probably pay off, especially when you go, well, you know what, maybe I'll put that in my Mandalorian army. We now have the ability to take Mandalorians as a complete army of Mandalorians. With it, you can take them, I think, well, Andy, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You can take them as mercenaries, am I right? And you can take them as mercenary units within different factions. Now, the reason I say that is because you have different clans.
So the Mandalorian initiates don't have. They're only available in the Mandalorian clans.
Yep.
Yeah. Because they on their unit card they don't have the mercenary symbol or anything like that. They are just Mandalorians. So yeah, you've got the 5 clans, and I think like each one for that has its special rules. They've not said what any of that is.
The clans we haven't got the rules, but obviously we know the clans are. So you've got the whatever the Boba Fett Tusky one thing is. I can't remember. You've got Clan Krees. I think it's Exiles, Night Owls, and is it
Maldalorians.
Maldalorians / what they called Hunters or Shadow, not what they called, something like that. Are they actually called Maldalorians?
I think they're just called Maldalorians, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I can't remember what the name of the one from the scum, the supposedly scum and villainy symbol is. I can't remember that one, but there we go. But you can, but also AMG revealed that you can create. I don't know how. We don't know how this is a thing. They haven't released this information yet. You can create your own Mandalorian faction with their own rules, which I think is 2 things on that. 1, brilliant masterstroke from them in terms of a business thing, because all of a sudden people will buy multiple boxes for their own thing, and then they'll want to buy it to build a Night Owl, a Clan Krees, whatever, for their own faction because they'll enjoy it.
So financially painful.
It will be for us. That'll be for us, the consumer, will be financially painful. But they're a business, so they've done, for me, that's, if I'm their business, they've done they've had a bit of a masterstroke there. But
so like, how many?
The idea of making the box. Hang on, just look at there was a picture, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, plus I think Din and
so you get 2 mega squads. if you could do them as mega squads, assuming that they do how they do things at the moment, where you get a full squad as a full squad,
Yeah,
quite like
yeah.
options.
It's got them there, but what else? But the thing is also that doesn't include characters outside of Din. So so you like your armorer
You
and
got to buy
your
them in a separate
yeah,
box.
all like the unique characters like Bo-Katan and etc. 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 They'll all be in unique boxes, as you can imagine. So that way you flesh out the army a bit more. Yeah, that's that. So the idea of creating your own clan, I think, is an amazing. I think it's a really good masterstroke from them in terms of a fun, like business thing.
I hate them.
Because
Absolutely can't stand it.
because this touches on what, like, I mean, we don't talk about other game systems too much, but like this touches on the 40k thing of if you can create your own chapter in Space Marines or your own Eldar craft world or whatever. So this touches a little bit on that and creating your own Mandalorian clan. Justin, your thoughts? Are you going to be a Mando fanboy? A fando boy? Are you going to be a fando boy?
I don't like Mandos enough to spend that much money.
That's a very fair. Honestly, it's a very fair answer. But there'll be other people we know, Tom Smith, who will literally just jump in and spend what he can on these.
I'm waiting for Django. Every Mando got released except for Django Fett, and that's the one Mando I care about.
Yes. Is Django an official Mandalorian? Or did he not? I don't know if that was that not revealed that he actually isn't technically a Mandalorian, or is it because he's Mandalorian because he was adopted by the clans or whatever? I don't know. Or he's not. I
No,
don't know.
I think he's a proper Mando, isn't he?
I can't remember now because there was something revealed about his chain code and whatnot in the Book of Boba and whatnot, and I can't remember now. But there we go. So yeah, Mandalorians. I'm looking forward to them a lot, and I will definitely play them there. Next up, and there's again, like I said, we had quite a few things. A box was revealed. 224th Armored Division Army box. And those of you who are Star Wars aficionados, that would be your Mud Troopers, because that's a name that you want to stick, don't you? Mud Troopers. Miniatures look cool, as they do. What I will just say also, in the background of the Armored Division box, Gav tanks. More than one, I just put it out there as well. So, not knowing if that is it must be a Battle Force if it's 224th. Are we going to see a bit of a Gav tank revival? Who knows?
Said no one.
Yeah.
I know AMG specified that there. I think there is a Gav tank in that box. I think.
Well, is there one? Oh, that's really. Oh,
There's one in the box. They did say that, yeah.
Oh, there you go. I was too busy screenshotting all this. We haven't got the unit cards for the Mud Troopers, so the miniatures look cool. Moving on to something for the Rebels. Special Forces unit, Guerrilla Troopers. The unit card is 4 miniatures. Looks like the box has 1 to 6, 7 minis in it, so it's got an extra man heavy or 2 officers heavies. Looks like it by the pictures. Flexible response. Don't know what that does.
Yeah, we do.
No idea. Do you?
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
Because it's the same keyword that the Blizzard heavy weapon the heavy response unit has.
Oh, is it the HRU one? Is it? Oh, there you go.
I think it is. That's right. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 Oh well, that
I was doubting myself there for a second, but yeah.
That
you get 2 heavy weapons in it.
You put 2 heavy weapons in it. That's interesting. It shows how much Blizzard Force I play. Flexible response 2, independent aim, and infiltrate. Red saves. Rebels with red saves. Well, yes, please. They have their native weapon is 1 to 3 black. Overwhelm.
We don't know what that does though.
Overwhelm's the name of. Oh, overwhelm is the name of boot attack.
Yes, and K2s.
Did you pull out the arms of someone? I don't know, but there we go.
You pull out the arms at range.
Yeah. One health, two courage, red save, speed 2. No surging either way. So a red saving unit for rebels. Before we move on to the next things, red saving rebels. Any thoughts, gentlemen?
Points dependent.
Yeah, points to build, and that is, but it does. It's in a slot that's interesting for the rebels, because that slot is only occupied by the commandos, the sleeper cell. Oh no, actually, it's quite big. Looking at it, because the Ewoks take it up as well. So you've got the rebels will be able to have access to Clan Krees, and Clan Ren vets, Ewok slingers, and guerrilla troopers, and on top of that, they've already got the Mando resistance and Clan Ren.
So
Rebel Commando, Sleeper Cell, and the two variants of Wookiee Warriors.
the fact that they've got infiltrate with 2 heavy weapons, so this is a 6-man squad with independent aim. They're all firing black dice. So
Plus whatever the other thing is.
yeah, so you're rolling them in with 4 black plus 2 heavy weapons. You're probably rolling 10 dice offensively, and then you've also got the red saves defensively. And with some of the new deployments, like
Oh god,
the big penis one, like is that contact, isn't it? I think it
yes,
is.
it is. What a name for it! Brilliant.
Yeah, that's why I refer to it, because it is just 2 like long slongs opposite each other. I think because I played that the other day, and if you don't have infiltrate, it's really hard to kind of push on to the other, like the one that's really close to the edge of your deployment zone.
Yep.
So I think this could be like a really good, strong thing for rebels. It's got a hard hitting unit and it's got survivability, so they could hold that point by themselves. And if you get 2 or 3 of these, as long as they're not stupidly high priced, I think these would be quite easy to have one of these in your army just to be flexible on certain missions. And that's what rebels are good at, right? Being flexible at lots of missions.
Yeah, agree. And then the points cost is the issue here. But what will be their points cost versus Sleeper Cell, for example?
I imagine there'll be slightly more because they've got the longer range
and the
red saves. Yeah,
so there'll be more. So it'd be interesting to see where the economy comes in.
But I think you take one of each because they're filling different roles. Like when you take too many Sleeper Cell, you're putting yourself at a restrictive range. Like you can only hit range 4 turn 1, and then from turn 2 onwards, they've only got a threat range of 3 because they've got to move and shoot. So
just look at the weapons. He's got an HH. Is that an HH-12 there? But looks things an HH-12.
Yeah, it's definitely a HH-12.
And it looks like that weird DLT something or whatever it's called. But yeah,
no, is that not the Empire?
Oh no, it's the Empire T-21 something or whatever it is.
The one that the Dewbacks have and the Stormtroopers have.
Yeah, there is a DLT up there, by the way, on the top.
Oh, is there?
Right, on the what's his name? No,
is that not the same gun they're all carrying?
No, the other one's got.
I see what looks like a machine gun.
Yeah,
the one on the left. I think that's the R7C.
R729C, something like it's called.
Yeah, that's it.
The other one up there, the top right on the whatever it is. I can't remember
the Duros.
Duros, thank you. I was going to say Rodian, couldn't get it out of my head. That's a DLT.
Could be, but I mean, like, so Theorycraft, if that is the Empire R7TC, which is 1 red, 3 white, you've got HH-12, which is 3 black, plus another 4 black from the squad, so 7 black, 1 red, 3 white. That's a huge dice pool.
I think it's worth noting it is not surge to hit.
Yeah.
So if it's a huge dice pool, you could be rolling like 3 to 4 surges several times.
That's where the independent aim
is. And maybe that's the downside to the squad, right? It's not surging, so it can spike. And non-surging blacks as a rebel slinger player, you roll plenty of surges.
So there's that one. So that now we go on to some more Republic stuff coming out. Who's a fan of Barks? I know you are, Andy, because that's the sound of your meal. But who likes Jedi Knights on Barks? I think
said no one.
Said no one. But we have Jedi Knights on Barks. So I think that it's going to be fun. So we've got Aid, Clone Trooper, Command Vehicle 2, Cover 1, Defend 1, Immune Pierce, Speeder 1, the lightsabers 2 red, 3 white, 1 black, Impact 2, Overrun, Pierce 1, and Scatter. And then it's got the twin blaster cannon, which at the front, which weirdly does more than it's a slightly different dice pool than the actual Bark is, but there we go. It's got 5 health, and it's red saves, and it's speed 3, and it's a commander, and it has a command card that was revealed, which is evasive action. No orders, 0 units. Choose up to 2 allied leaders or commanders or operatives that have the speeder keyword. Each chosen unit issues an order to itself and gains outmaneuver this round. Additionally, this round, allied support and heavy vehicles have nimble while they are within speed 2 of commanders and operatives that have the speeder keyword. The box looks like it has Anakin and Kenobi on it, but there's also the reveal picture was a generic dude on the bike himself. But we do have the Anakin one, which is 6 elf. He's an operative. Cover 2, Independent Aim 2 or Surge 2. Immune Pierce, Reposition, Speed of 1. He's got the overrun of his lightsaber. He's got speed. He's got Anakin's lightsaber, which is Impact 2, Overrun, Pierce 2, Scatter, 2 red, 2 black. And he's got the Blaster Cannon, which is 4 white, 2 black. There. Can we just take a pause on this one? Did we want Anakin to be this quick natively with Overrun? What are we thinking?
I mean, it's no worse or better than Grievous.
Yeah, but with his command cards,
if they work.
If he has the command cards, he can triple move speed 3, or is it quad move? It's quad move speed 3.
Yeah, quad.
Oh no,
all the way on the other side of the map.
Doesn't the command card give him jump, and you can't really jump with a speeder?
Well, I mean, you can. Rules is written.
Yeah.
You can use the jump.
And it's jump 2, which is higher than the Bart can normally go.
I think he could be very good depending on his price point. I think if he's very expensive, then he won't be any good. But if they get the pricing, like if he's pretty cheap, then you could do some crazy things. I think particularly the 2 pip, being able to use an extra 6 dice on both of his overrun and the ranged attack is pretty nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't surge though, which is somewhat of it's a pretty big deal. Not surging to hit
on the crit. Andy, I had to defer to you on rules on this one. On the independent, do you have to take 2 aims, or do you have to take 2 surges, or you could do 1 of each?
The way
it's 2 aims or 2 surges.
Yeah,
you can't mix.
No, you can't, because it specifies aim 2 or surge 2.
Yeah, that's what I wondered.
Yeah.
So what if you just go, well, I'll have one of them and one of them. So
no,
one for defense and one for offense, that sort of thing. There we go. So there's Anakin on the bark. We got back to the picture taken back to the Mandalorian initiates. Oh no, we've done that's the start of that one again. So that's that one. Who else? Oh, here we are. We're coming up to the final parts now. So we were then on the reveal. It said air support arrives in 2027. And then there was an order token with a different symbol. Red 2 standing by. Obviously, Wedge Antilles. Basically means we're getting some flyers, baby. We didn't see any imagery. We didn't see any rules. We're just getting flyers, and that was interesting. And
we saw some models.
We saw. Did you see? Have you seen the models that were there
in the video? Yeah.
Yeah. Was it? It was weird because you saw the X-wing, right?
It was the Fang fighter. It was a Fang fighter on the flight stand in the video. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And was there not an X-wing as well?
I don't think we saw any like actual model images of an X-wing.
Oh, it is just the Fang fighter model. Yeah.
It was also like spoiled that the ships that we're getting, we're getting
it's on the
Vulture,
schedule.
the X-wing, the Fang fighter, and then the Empire's in question. But we all know what the Empire one is.
If it is not a TIE fighter, then
the Imperial shuttle.
That would be a huge curveball.
That would be a very huge muddle as well. So we had those spoiled. We had that. Then they said that it was the April 21st. They've got the live stream. So 21st of April they are doing their points reveal. We, as That's the Moon, are privileged to say that we will have the developers on recording with us on the Thursday, the whatever it is. So
23rd.
23rd. Thank you. You got the dates there. We'll have them all on the 23rd, and I think they're doing the rounds. So you'll hear from not just us, from the devs, from everyone. Which must mean that something important's happening, and other than points. So, because they don't normally go, "Hey, can we come on your show?" Because normally you chase them the other way around. So something must be going down, and so we shall see what goes on.
But the picture.
What picture? What picture about?
The picture they announced during the live stream. It's droid focused. They're getting a nerf.
I forgot about that.
That's why Justin's moving to Empire, you see. He's ahead of the ball.
You say that, but it doesn't have to be a nerf, right? They could just be buffing them even further.
Buff, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like all this new stuff's coming out is going to make everything else better, so we got to buff the droids.
The AAT's going down by 10 points.
Oh, my God.
Still
can't believe they did the first one.
Towards the end of their stream, they went back to the Mandalorians. They went back to the Clan Ren. So they revealed a Clan Ren veterans card. Mercenary for the Rebels, jump to Dauntless, Impervious, Nimble. We fight for our family. 3 miniatures in there, surging both ways, speed 3, health 1, courage 2. Blaster pistols working melee this time now. So I think it's an upgrade on the Clan Ren vets. Or not an upgrade, a rework.
No,
They're also. Go on, Andy, go on.
I was going to say it's. Yeah, I suppose they are currently Clan Ren vets, aren't they? There.
Yeah, I was about to say because they've got Clan Rens
Yeah.
in there. But then they did do the PDF, which I don't know if is available yet for the Mandalorian special rules.
No.
I don't recall seeing on there. So they showed that it existed. So it's there. Oh, they went. Here we go. We got the armorer's card. She's got jump 2, aids her affiliate clan, charge, impervious, reliable 1. This is the way: move 1 or recover 2. Her weapon is 3 and 3 as a unit. 3 red, 3 black, I should say. Critical 1, impact 2, pierce 1. She surges defense, not offensively. She just surges defense. And she's 6 and 3 and is a leader. And then we've got Paz Vizsla. Oh, tears. Jump 2, field commander, impervious, steady. This is the way: aim 2. He's got a vibra knife at 2 red, 2 white, pierce 1. And he's got the repeating blaster, which is 1 red, 3 white, 2 black. It's overwhelm again. Don't know what that keyword is. We've got surging both ways. He's 5 health, 3 courage, and he's an operative. That is a box for Mandalorian leaders, and there's 2 more to reveal, which is Bo-Katan Kryze getting a unit on her own at last, and Axe Woves. She can be a merc for Rebels or Republic, hence the Shakti interesting things. Jump 2, Death from Above, which is the Geonosians thing, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Impervious, and then it's Mandalorians are stronger together. Yep, we're aware of that. Don't know what that does though. Tactical 1, 5 health, 3 courage, surging both ways, red defense dice obviously, and high velocity pistols that work in melee, 2 red, 2 black. That'd be really interesting. And an axe has got same jump 2 charge, coordinates. I don't know what that's. It's a coordinate. It must be a coordinate clan unit. So the Clan Kryze units he can coordinate with. Impervious. Mando's a strong together tactical 1, and he's got vibra knife and pistol for 2 red, 2 white, 5 health, 2 courage, surging both ways, speed 3, and just an FYI, Bo-Katan's got a shield in the artwork, so you can speculate as to whether that means she gets an upgrade on shield. Thoughts on the Mando leader box, gentlemen?
I'll let Justin go first.
I think the this is the way being the recover 2, unless they completely change the way the recover is worded, I think that hints to the fact that this is the way might be something like you can pick 2 units that have this is the way and kind of just divvy out all the stuff that you can do, which would make them incredibly versatile. Because that means you could throw that aim 2 from the other guy on somebody else. You can move somebody else with the this is the way move, and you could do all sorts of different things just at any moment. It's like super independent. Everybody gets to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, if you think of the lore, like Mandalorians are meant to be equipped to deal with any and all situations, right? They're like a Swiss Army knife. So
they're elite,
I think that
they're elite soldiers, aren't they? They are bred
and trained
militaristic soldiers. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that is the case, it'd be quite cool, and it'd be very cool to play with and play against, I think. Because it'd be like, are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? Who are they giving the tokens to? Who are they giving the recovers to? Or like, it'll give so much weird flexibility in a good way. But then obviously going the Clan Kryze way, their stuff is completely different.
Well, this is it. We don't know what well, not annoyingly, but we will be. I'm sure. Well, do you know what? Maybe that's what's happening on April on reveal. Maybe we'll find out what, because that they're coming out in June.
Yeah, and why is that?
There's something called the film. There's a film coming out in it.
This is huge, though. Like, this is so huge for Legion. The fact that they've managed to keep this cool, no one knew this was coming. They're all annoyed. Like, small mini rant. They promised us Gungans and didn't deliver Gungans.
Yeah.
Well, no. On the previous interview, they were like, "Oh yeah, so hopefully you'll stop asking at AdeptiCon," and there was not even a hint of Gungans. So I hold a grudge against him for that.
No, we'll ask him again though. We'll ask him again. It's fine.
I will, yeah, we'll keep asking him. But then obviously they've managed to drop this a couple of months before a film is out, which is which is related to all of this stuff.
That's all
And
coordinated as well.
yeah, because if you look at like obviously Han Solo, that film was out years ago, and now we're only just getting Mud Troopers, which is fine. Like Legion probably wasn't as big back then, and I think this shows how much backing Disney is giving AMG to tie in a
And Asmodee.
release and Asmodee, yeah, and like everything all together. And this is a huge credit to them and a huge responsibility that they're wanting. You go and see this Mando film, you can play with Mandalorians. Like you get that urge when you watch. Like at the moment, I'm watching Maul. I've got the urge to put Maul on the table.
Yes,
Like
very much.
so, where at the moment I can just go, oh, well, I can only put them in Separatists or I can only like Shadow Collective. They're a bit meh, but this I can go out and buy a whole army. And it's like such a huge good thing for AMG and Disney and Asmodee to tie this in because this is so promising for Legion as a game.
It's not often that a major IP releases a major cinematic or televisual thing, and there is a tie-in at the same time. It's not.
Yeah,
I say that Star Wars is actually probably the exception to the rule because obviously that's what Lucas did. Now he's made his money with toys and things that came out with the films.
but that's it. Normally, you get you can currently like pre-order the Lego sets. You can pre-order like all of the other like cool toy stuff that if you're a collector. But this time, there's Legion available for the pre-order for the film.
Mm.
Like
That's
it's
gonna be good.
so cool.
Moving on from that, we do have more Mandos to reveal. You've got the generic Mando leader, who's not affiliated to anything. He's the Merc. He's the original Merc. He has jumped to equips a weapon and a programming / doctrine, whatever that is. It's a doctrine symbol. That's it.
Doctrine.
So that'll be interesting. So you've got to create your own Mando leaders. This ties in with your clan, I assume. Then you can retinue Mando warriors. He's 5 health, surging both ways. To sit the theme, surging both ways a little bit, but not all the time. Just look at the next one, the Mandalorian Hunter. It didn't have surging defense, so there we go. Blaster pistol, 2 red, 2 white. Vibro knife in melee, 2 black, 2 white. You can customize them. On the image, it shows many different parts, so that's where your custom Mandos are coming in, I imagine. The Mando Hunter jumped to equip weapon and doctrine impervious as well. Moving on, Clan Kreese vets, 5 in the squad as special forces. Merc for rebels and Gar, jump to impervious. Mandalorians are strong together. Tactical 1. Blaster pistols range 2 and melee 1 red 1 white. But they also have the Gar carbine, the Galar carbines at range 1 at 3. So black dice. So 5 black dice at range 3, or 1 red 1 white at range 2. Speed 3, surging both ways. Courage 2, 5 minis, as I said. We shall see more, I think, in that one. There is a 4 on the box, but there's only 3 shown here, so obviously there might be a heavy involved as well. More Mando warriors. We've just got jump to duelist impervious on Mandalorian warriors, which are again 5 in there. There is a Mandalorian warriors fire support team, which are in the support, which has 4. Jump to detachment Mando warriors heavy weapon team. So we'll see what happens there. There could be the HRU scenario going on. Loads and stuff in there, and that is the Mandalorian section of the show. And I think any more? No, that was it. Other than the release schedule, leaders of the Separatist Alliance, and at Q3 we're expecting the Mando leaders, Jedi Council, Mandalorian Army box, and the leaders of the Separatist Alliance. And Q3 is Andy, because I can't remember which one they are because they're all different places.
Q3 is the
June.
7th, 8th, and 9th. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So July, then July. And then going into Q4, Han Solo, Han and Chewie, Mando Warriors, 224th, Mud Troopers, customizable Mandos, Wet Weather Gear Stormtroopers. Didn't even see an image from that, did we? Jedi Bark Speeders and Guerrilla Troopers. And then into 2027, the flyer symbol with the various symbols on. And we know there's an X-Wing. I'm looking forward to a Y-Wing because that's my favourite ship, but that's me. And that is the reveals. Justin, your takeaways from the reveals. Obviously, there's a lot to take in. so much that everyone's going to go, "Oh my god, my brain!" But what are you most looking forward to? What has made you go, "You have my attention" from Halo?
Uh, I want a TIE fighter. So
What a TIE fighter!
Do you like? I saw an interesting post on Facebook earlier today about what was the general feeling on the like the introduction of flyers. Like, obviously we have no idea about rules, and I think that was the biggest comment. Like, shut up, because we don't know the rules. But there was a lot of other games have done it, and some people hated it, some people loved it. So, like, what's your like? Did you want a TIE fighter? But like, are you worried a little bit about the rules, or are you just like, I don't care?
we'll see what happens when it happens. Because it's gonna happen regardless.
That
But
is a
it can't be
perfect
wrong, yeah.
response, man. That is good response.
I I'm looking forward to it because it makes the game different. And for me, when the game changes, I know there was everyone initially went, "Oh, cover," and things like that when the game changed, but now everyone's sort of gotten used to it, and you always get pushback on things changes. For me, change the change in the game makes it positive because it keeps everyone on their toes. There's no one then thing that dominates all the time, etc. That sort of thing. I like the idea. I'd be interested to see the scale of the model. I mean, you guys saw it because obviously what was it? The X-wing and the Fang you saw, yeah.
But apparently it might have just been the Fang.
It's
So
just the thing. I
so
think they're trying to do the scale by using those flight stands, like to where they're not actually on like real bases that take up
yeah.
space. They're on like that extendable flight stand that is looks slim.
So the idea being obviously if the scale, because what my scale brain was thinking, if that was put on the board donk and like put on the floor flat, would you be able to put a mini in it? However, if you were putting them on a big on a stand, you're then saying, okay, it's further away from the battlefield, so therefore the scale adjusts accordingly with distances. That was my brain because I'd be interested to see how big they are compared to the board
Oh,
and
the I think
their
the
area of effect and all that sort of stuff.
I think it's the scale that they've been doing. I think they have like a certain scale that's like a little smaller,
Mm,
but I think they're sticking to that. It's not like, it's a much smaller mini. It's like relative to all their other vehicles.
yeah.
I think it's about the same scale.
And on the fly thing, I suppose you are restricted in terms of you can't just crack out and go, you know what, we're going to bring out the Millennium Falcon because it's a freaking freighter. You can't crack out the Ghost because it's a different kind of freighter. You kind of have to stick to your your ties, and that's interceptors, bombers, regular Tie fighters, X wings. You probably do your Y wings. I don't think a probably
I
do an
mean,
A wing.
with an attitude like that, no, they can't stick to it. Like,
You know what I mean? You should. You know what I mean? I'm thinking you'll have your Y wings, A wings, X wings, and then
I mean, that's actually
what?
saying to ask
What's your
Justin
equivalent?
because you weren't there, Cockles, and I
No,
don't know if the photos made the way back to you.
haven't seen him.
Did
No
you
follow
go
me.
and look at the Ghost Crew, Justin?
Uh, I took a look at them. I didn't really watch the show, so it's not something, but I saw them.
Oh, okay. All right. What did you think of the sculpts?
I don't know if I looked at them hard enough. I
All right.
was playing Legion most of the time.
You didn't get knocked out. All right, all right.
He was too busy being winning.
Have you got your trophy to hand?
I did well. I gotta go grab it, but it's nearby. It's
Yeah,
nearby.
yeah. I
Wait,
mean,
Don't
Joe
worry.
Cockles just because
No,
I'm
no, it's
watching
fine.
it.
I saw the pictures
Yeah,
in the pictures. It's fine.
it's an awesome
I've seen
trophy,
it, and it
man.
is, and also Hank, Mister. First off, Hank setting up AdeptiCon and stuff like that. Props. He sent the stuff over in our little like secret chats that we have to show us, and I think you're in it as well. And literally, it was similar to the Shatterpoint one as well. They looked stunning. That was like a level up
Mm.
off of from previous stuff. Not that piece of glass that Ollie has, but
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But there we go. Um, I think that effectively wraps up the show. We've been rattling on for quite a while. We've had a good time, lots of stuff. Justin, your final thoughts on where the game's going and what's coming out, and anything you're looking. I know you said you're going into Empire. Is there anything that you might be that you're specifically looking at in Empire?
I'm running Commander Vader, so one of the rare statespersons running Commander Vader over
Somewhere
Operative Vader.
Dave Grant just went, yeah, man. Maybe not quite like that, but yeah.
Is that with Tarkin?
Actually, I'm not running. I am running High Command, but it's Krennic. so it's technically not high
Okay.
command.
No, that's
I'm not actually running probes or high command. It's just
no
classic Commander
probes.
Vader. You know.
I think maybe that's another excuse to get you on next time, see what you're doing, and then that works out. So
Indeed.
that'd be fun if you're up for it. That is.
Yep.
Good man. Couple of shout outs. Well, we'll do. Andy, we'll do events on the next show, just because we're just hard time wise.
I've got a very small.
Let me guess. Travel Base only has 30 tickets left.
That's the one.
Ah, look at that. Beat you to it. Go on then.
So yeah, obviously this is our 5th year with so it's quite hard to have continuous growth year on year, especially when last year we had 100 players. So what is it she's put here? It's inevitable that we'd see a year where we would obviously see a small like decline in sales in comparison. So what we've done is reduced the capacity of the event so that we can then reinvest the spare money from hiring the lack of hiring the extra room to put back into prize support. So with that, it meant obviously, as Cockle said, we've now got less than 30 tickets. So I imagine them last 30 will sell rather quickly, but it probably means we won't break our record of max players, but it's just the way it is. And then next year we'll try again.
Yep, that makes sense. That's cool. So that's that. Two little shout outs from me. One is to two gents who I bumped into in Sanctuary the other day who indulged me in watching their game, and they were playing Hand-Luke Ton versus Imperial Command, which was really good fun to watch and chill out because I was at work, I was away, and I was like, let's see if any nerds are in, and I did, and it was good. So thank you to Isaac, and I think Isaac and James. I think it was James. My brain's going Matt, but no, I think it was James. Thank you to those just indulging watching. Also, shout out to those who are at the Wayland Games Gaming Hall the other week, who indulged me popping in with my daughter, who let her roll dice. Andy, you are one of them. Tom, you're the other one, because she was just interested in all the models and stuff like that. So, so thank you for indulging there. So, I can't actually. We said this after the private conversation, Andy, that if anyone's looking to play games in around that area. Of sort of South Essex, Brentwood, that gaming hall is sick.
It really is.
I was very impressed about because obviously you've got the gaming hall there, and then there's like a restaurant next to it, and I was like, man, this is cool. And I've seen stuff like that in the States and Canada, and I think there's something similar up in the Midlands in the UK, but that's focuses more. It's just like pure Warhammer. But this was really good. So shout out to that and Wayland for putting that gaming hall out because it looks really good. And they do stock Legion. They can, or you can order it online and collect, and they have it. They generally have it because they're a major global stockist. So nice. I look forward to seeing more what they do going forward with in that gaming hall. And it's not that far away for most people because it's just off the M25. Literally, bong. There you are, Brentwood done. Thank you very much. Just have to avoid the fact that it's pure the only way is Essex land. But there you go. You bump into Gemma Collins in there, that something's going wrong. Who knows? Ugh. Justin, fully aware you won't know who that is, but you don't want to know who that is at the same time, so don't worry.
You don't need to know.
You don't need to know because she's a person. Moving on. Thank you for listening to the show. Justin, thank you for coming on. We look forward to seeing more from you in the future. We shall pay great attention to your career going forward.
Good phrase.
Also words to that effect. But no, honestly, thank you for coming on, taking the time out to be on the show. It's much appreciated. We'll get you on at some point and see how your empire's going on. Andy, any final thoughts?
No, thank you very much. And congratulations again, Justin.
Cool. If you are watching, listening, this should be coming out on the Monday, which is tomorrow, which is the 20th. And then we will have another show that will come out on the Friday, because the Friday the 24th. Yes, Friday 24th, because that will be the show that we have with the devs. So you've got like a bumper double week of TNM content going on. And I am currently in the process of putting together more video content that Justin's done some painting. So pay attention to everything. Yeah, different Justin. Yeah, sorry, Justin. Did you know I've been spying on your painting? No, Justin Reed has been doing painting for us, and I have all the content, and I'm just learning how to put it all smash it all together and make it look good. So pay attention to all the socials. Links and things will be in the description of the show. Thank you very much for listening. Say goodbye, boys.
Bye, boys.
Bye.
That's No Moon. Bye bye. You've been listening to That's No Moon, a Star Wars Legion podcast. To keep up to date with us, please like and follow us on Facebook, That's No Moon, a Star Wars Legion podcast, and Instagram, That's No Moon Podcast.